All right, what's going on, friends? A pleasant good afternoon. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening in the house. We're just going to have a little fun, casual analysis and discussion of today's game. The Dallas Cowboys at home hosting the Arizona Cardinals. And Carl, down in San Antonio, man, you've been covering the Cowboys for some time and what you do. How you doing, buddy? It's been a while since you and I have got together, man. Oh, hold on, Carl. There, now I've got you in, Carl. It's been a while since we've got together, man.
Hey, it's been good, Rob. Yeah, I think we both wanted to get a little, hangout time and talk about just, Spurs, Cowboys, NFL, the playoffs coming up. And we actually have not had a chance to do that because, we're both so busy. And, I'm excited that you and I could just kind of, watch a Cowboys game together. And it's kind of cool. We'll figure out if there's any technical issues because we're also kind of doing a couple tests that we've been talking about indefinitely that involves remote streaming. And, I'm going with a more basic setup, but that's part of the test. And I think that people are going to be excited about what we got going on with SHN in 2022.
Yeah, man, a lot of great stuff happening. And make sure to follow us on our Twitter streams. You can get Carl at Carl ESPN. Is that right? Carl at Carl ESPN?
Make sure it's Carl with a K. It's Carl with a K. Yep.
And so I'm going to put this on here. And look, folks, there's already some friends that are joining us here on social media streams. This is a very interactive show. So follow Carl at Carl ESPN. You can follow me on Twitter at Rob Hipp. And we've already got our good buddy Joshua Harris joining us. Excited about this Cowboys game today. Carl, I'll be honest with you. Just straight up, we got to be real, got to be honest. I haven't been watching a whole lot of professional football this season because, of course, I broadcast for Sam Houston, and we got knocked out of the playoffs a couple of weeks ago, so my eyes have finally shifted focus over to my Cowboys, man. I feel like I'm a bad fan because I haven't been watching them this year.
No, it's understandable with your schedule because you obviously have Sam Houston State on Saturdays and then all of the aftermath on Sundays. And, I think if you were to talk to pretty much anybody that works in college football, unless it's part of their job to watch the NFL, like as, the coaching staff, and I imagine that, that's what happened when I used to cover Texas State and, this year with UTSA. But, we have Mike McCarthy on at San Antonio Sports Star, where I work in San Antonio every Friday. So, and I catch as many Cowboys games as I can, or I listen to the legend Brad Sham on, NFL Game Pass. And those kind of things kind of keep you up to date. But, yeah, it's definitely going to be a great year to remember for Cowboys fans, and hopefully they can reward their fans with a good playoff run. I think they're playing well at the right time. I think that Kellen Moore saved a lot of correct wrinkles for later in the season to get a little bit of game film on, but not too much. But, Dak Prescott being a running threat is going to be the big thing today. He really started to show it off. Let me pull up the stats while I say these things, but he really started to show it off last game. And until last game, I think the Cowboys were really reserving him. So let me find his stats last week against Washington.
While you're looking up a little bit, just a little bit about Dak. 29 touchdown passes this year. He needs 2 touchdowns today to break his single career high of 30 passing touchdowns. That he set back in 2019. And with that 1 touchdown pass today, if he can get it against Arizona, Prescott will also pass Don Meredith, 135, 5th in franchise history in career passing touchdowns. This young man, 400 career passing games through his first 6 seasons. One more 400-yard performance, he would break a tie with Dan Marino for the most 400-yard games in the first 6 seasons of an NFL career. He also needs 72 yards, Carl, to surpass 4,000 yards on the season, the 2nd time of his career and the 6th time overall in team history. And I'll be honest, I was kind of I don't want to say a hater. I never say the word hater, but you know me, dude. I was a huge Tony Romo guy.
You were a Romo guy, and you look up, and all of a sudden, 2015 was a long time ago, Rob. And a lot of that plays into the era that Dak is in. It's very much a NFL teams have adopted the popular and NCAA aerial raid, but keep the running game important and relevant. So they find a nice middle ground, but they've adopted a lot of what NCAA concepts are that really spread out the defense and have taken them away from the sort of like transition period that Romo played in from the pro offense era, where you just gave it to your running back every play and you had a lot of blocking schemes. And In this particular case, receivers are very much a big part of the season. And CeeDee Lamb has been having a really good year. Amari Cooper is a good weapon. Tony Pollard can make catches out of the backfield and every now and again gets lined up in the slot. And there really is a lot they can do with screens in that offense because Zeke's making catches under Kellen Moore. And really, they're allowing Dak Prescott, who's coming off of that ankle surgery that kept him out last season except for 4 full games, and he got hurt in week 5. He was having a phenomenal year last year. But this year, they're really just making sure he passes a lot. The numbers that I was talking about earlier, looking back at his career season as a rusher, or his career as a rusher, last year, before the injury, he was averaging 18.6 yards per game, which wasn't his career high. That was his second season in 2017 with 22 rushing yards per game. But they've really held back on him being a runner as a quarterback so far this season, because in 2021, this year up till now 2022, he only is averaging 2.9 yards per game on the ground. So obviously they're not encouraging him to really do much more than protect the football and get out of bounds or slide or things like that. They're protecting his body because obviously he's coming off of ankle surgery, but also it's a wrinkle into the game plan that the Cowboys can use going into the playoffs, because now all of a sudden you have Tony Pollard healthy, you have Zeke healthy, and now Dak's going to be a runner. You really can't stop that offense. You have to defend everything just a little bit, which opens up everything for everybody, or you have to overcommit to maybe the run game with Zeke and Pollard. And that's going to really be an interesting thing to see if Dak Prescott knows Zeke and Pollard and how defense have been playing them so well all season that he starts to notice his opening to the opposite side, or maybe even the short side inside of where the tackle and the receivers are. So I'm interested to see what happens with Dak here as the offense progresses. And this is the ultimate test, really. Everybody's had the Cardinals circled, so Rob, you were mentioning how you haven't seen too many Cowboys games. This is the circled game. It's right before the playoffs. 2 teams that have been playing well all season long, and they're catching the Cardinals on a 3-game losing streak. So if there's a 4th game in there that they lose, that's really bad projection. However, they're looking to bounce back, prove that they can beat a playoff team, and that this 3-game losing streak is the only slump they have all year. Otherwise, they're in trouble heading into the last week of the season on a 4-game losing streak. So a lot on the line today for both teams, and I'm excited to see how they do, because I think it's the 2 seed that they're playing for right now.
Yeah, a lot of excitement going on. Again, Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening, thanks for joining us here on the game analysis and discussion of Dallas Cowboys football today. And I'm so happy to have Carl on because he's a big Eagles fan. So, man, I felt blessed when Carl, I told you we were doing this, and you said, let's hop on and do it. And I said, man, Carl is here in the house. But we talk about a Dallas Cowboys team that has secured their spot in the playoffs and a good opportunity for them. I think this is one of the better Cowboys teams that we have seen in quite some time. Of course, had their troubles last year, but Dak Prescott staying healthy really has helped to turn this team around again this season. And, man, you talk about head coach Mike McCarthy and what he's been able to do in this season. Dallas Cowboy ranks first in points per game at just over 30 points a game. They are first in the NFL in explosive plays over 10 yards, 229 of those this season. They're first in net yards per game, over 400 per game. They're also 4th in completion percentage at just under 69%, and also 4th in the passer rating with Dak Prescott at 101.2. Also, guess what? Dallas has the most takeaways in the league with 33 entering this contest versus Arizona. Love what I'm seeing here from Dallas this season. And you talked about Dak Prescott earlier. We've glanced on Ezekiel Elliott, but how about the linebacker Micah Parsons for the Dallas Cowboys? He was named the Rookie of the Month for December. Parsons totaling 12 tackles, 4 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, and 1 pass defended during that month of December. He was the only rookie to record at least 1 sack in 3 different games across weeks 13 of 16. And you've mentioned more about him, and Parsons was also named the Defensive Rookie of the Month for November. It's the first Cowboys player to win multiple Rookie of the Month awards, offense or defense. And last but certainly not least, talk a little bit more about Parsons. It marks the 3rd consecutive season that a defensive rookie has won the award in consecutive months. Tampa Bay linebacker Devin White did it in November and December, and Carolina safety Jeremy Chin did it in October and November of 2020. So this Cowboys team is making all the right moves as they head into the playoffs. Still one more under their belt, though, after this one, Carl, and that's going to be a fun one versus your Eagles coming up a week from now, man.
Yeah, I think that this is the biggest game of the season, and they kind of hope that maybe they can take off this last game against the Eagles. But I imagine everybody will play. It's just one of those things where you really have to look at who's going to have home field advantage and how that might shake out. And who even knows with this world of COVID protocols, if somebody enters protocols, then, that might make the game next week a moot point anyway. But it's one of those things where I was hoping that the Cowboys would have, maybe not that skid where they lost 3 of 4 back in November, and they would be able to just take that game off. Because you never know. This Eagles team, I call them the 2 steps forward, 1 step backward Eagles. They're better than everybody thought. Everybody thought they were going to be a bottom 4 team entering the season. But, let's give Nick Sirianni some credit. It's his first year as a head coach. And they committed too much to the passing game at the beginning of the season. And now I believe they're number 1 in rushing yards per game. So the Eagles are just committed to the run. So when something didn't work, he had the, lack of an ego or the potential to learn that, commit to the run. So that changed everything. That offensive line is night and day from what it was last year. And I think that they can win a playoff game, but I'm happier that they made the playoffs. It's a young quarterback at Jalen Hurts as well. They have an opportunity to build off of this. Even if they miss the playoff, well, they pretty much have a lock in the playoffs right now because Green Bay, if they beat Minnesota tonight, who's out without Kirk Cousins, their starting quarterback because of COVID protocols that happened like yesterday. So, in that particular case, the Eagles should lock up a playoff spot tonight when Green Bay wins. But, do the Eagles then all of a sudden rest everybody because they have the wild card spot? So, I'm really curious how that game's going to play out because I wanted the Cowboys to be the team to rest, and now maybe the Eagles should rest. I don't know. That's up to the coaches and how they want to run everything. But really, it's one of those things where I'm really proud of this Eagles team. Maybe they can turn into something special. Jalen Hurts only in his second year, and I would say that out of second-year quarterbacks, he's as good as you can hope for somebody that wasn't a first-round pick. So, excited about Hurts, and I think that as much as I hated to see Doug Peterson go, Carson Wentz, I was kind of on the fence of because he was so expensive. But he's having a good year in Indianapolis, and I'm happy for him. His big knock is that he can't stay healthy, and he met the snap requirements for the Eagles. Yeah, well, he met the snap requirements for the Eagles to get the first overall pick of this year's NFL draft from the Colts. So I'm glad that he was healthy and doing well. So, really Carson Wentz is going to be the reason that I am happy about this rebuild because he had enough value to get that first-round pick. The Eagles have 3 first-round picks in this upcoming draft. So not only do they make the playoffs this year, but they're going to hopefully get better with more young talent. And that's a positive direction as you're going to get out of the Eagles this season. So I was happy with this season with them.
We're excited, friends. Coming up here in just a few moments. We're about 3 minutes or so until kickoff from AT&T Stadium. We'll step aside. Carl Schoening, Rob Pipp here as we'll have a little casual fun today, doing a little play-by-play and also just chilling and lounging. I've got the popcorn ready. Terrell Owens will be happy. I got my popcorn ready. And, Carl, you got a workout before we got on. Dallas Cowboys, 11-4. Arizona Cardinals, 10-5. We'll be back in just a few moments. Stay with us. Kickoff coming up here in just a few moments, friends. All right, friends, back at it here. Rob Hipp alongside Carl Schoening. Thanks for joining us as we're just having a little discussion today, testing out a few things, and this may be something that we do quite a bit more often. In fact, coming up on Monday, the College Football National Championship, my buddy Ryan Humphreys, who is the holder for Sam Houston Bearcats, he's got a podcast that him and his buddy Dalton Meyer do. It's a podcast called Walk On Radio in the FCS, and In fact, Ryan and I are going to do the national championship game. He wanted to do that, and so he reached out to me yesterday, and so we're going to have fun kind of doing this similar setup. Carl and I testing it today, so we'll see more of it as Cowboys ready to rock and roll here in a minute. Those of you, of course, watching on TV, you see Joe Buck right now and Troy Aikman. Those are your two guys making the call today. And, you know, Carl, some people talk smack about Joe Buck. I'm just going to put it out there, man. I think those guys are where they're at for a reason. They wouldn't be where they're at if they didn't have something going, Carl. I don't know what your thoughts are, but look, if I could be in Joe Buck's shoes, I would love that any day, man. So I like what he does. I love hearing Aikman. I will say this, though. I would much rather have a Tony Romo and Jim Nantz calling this one on national television today. But both those guys are good as well, but I love Romo and Nantz, man.
I think that, Romo and Nantz is probably the best broadcast crew in the NFL at the moment. But I do think that, Aikman and Joe brings something kind of old school and classic, a little nostalgic for a lot of people. I've always enjoyed Joe. In fact, he's really hilarious because he understands what people say about him. And, what does it matter? He's still going to do the games. And it's so funny. If you've ever seen Brockmire, have you ever seen that show, Brockmire?
I haven't, man. I don't get to watch a whole lot of TV, man. I got a baby now, Carl.
Oh, man. Oh, well, I don't know if you can. No, you probably can't watch Brockmire around a baby. It's very crude, but it is very funny. It's what is that? Oh, Girl Dad.
Bridget got me this, man, for Christmas, man. It's
nice.
Awesome, Carl.
Yeah. No. Congratulations to you and Bridget on baby Braylon, but no, it's not a show you watch around a baby or probably even your wife because it's very vulgar, but it follows a broadcaster named Brockmire who used to be in the major leagues, and he had a meltdown on air, and 10 years later he wanted to make a comeback, so he's broadcasting for a minor league team. And I think he starts off in Class A, nowhere independent league that could take him doing PA, and then he got the radio gig in season 2. And in season 2, Joe Buck comes on, and it's a lot of fun. But we're about to get rolling here at
here
AT&T.
We go. Matt Prater lining up here as the Cardinals will kick this one off to get things started, and he'll look to the left, right toe to leather, and we're underway, Carl, at AT&T Stadium. This will boom to the goal line. The Cowboys will take it out across the 10, across the 15 on that far side, and out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Get a little return there by Dallas to get things started. I like this. I like seeing the Cowboys get the ball first, and we'll see what they can do against this Cardinals team.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught who won the coin toss, but I think it's always a good opportunity to set the tone, especially against a good defense like this. I think the Cardinals are 5th in points allowed at around 20 a game. So I think that this is going to be a good opportunity for Dak and the offense to find an early rhythm.
Yeah, Prescott will start right in the gun on 1st and 10. 5 seconds gone as we're just underway. One back to his right side. He's got those receivers grouped up there on the right hash mark, and Dak will throw right up the middle over center, and that's almost a first down grab as he threw it right there, and it darted that one right into the hands of his receiver. Trying to see who that went to. That was Michael Gallup over there, and boy, he just got 9 yards. Good little start there for Dak, man.
Yeah, and that opens up the playbook. This 2nd and 1, you kind of have that third chance, and you want to get something that gets you the first down, but we'll see what they decide to do here. And yeah, it's just a little screen back out to Gallup. He has the hot hand to start things off.
Yeah, a little first down right back to him, and you saw Dak go under center there. You don't see that a heck of a lot, but when you got those short down plays, they'll go for it. So I like that. I like the Cowboys getting the ball to start things, and I like seeing them move the chains. Dak Prescott at home this season, 5-2, completing 68% of his passes, 280 yards, 20 touchdowns, and only 2 picks at home in Dallas. As he'll go under center again here, one receiver up, 1st and 10, 1 minute gone. Cowboys have it near their own 35. Here's a handoff to Zeke as he tries to power his way forward, backpedaling up. And, man, I'd like to go up against a foot war, a leg war with that guy, Carl, and see if, when you're a kid and you lay on your back and you push your legs together, he'd probably push and my knees would break.
Yeah, no, he's a monster, and that's his first touch of the game. Not too much, but I really like how Kellen Moore's going true multiple formation here. They were just under center for back-to-back plays. Now they're in the shotgun. It's a good little wrinkle to start things off in their first 16.
Yeah, they'll go 2nd and 6 here. No score, 13-26 in the first. Cowboys have it here. Looks like around their own 39 as Prescott will step back, throws over center again. This one bobbled and caught there, and a good way to keep his eye on the ball there for your Dallas Cowboys. Dalton Schultz able to hold on to that one. He bobbled it, almost dropped it, but still a little bit short of that first down.
Yeah, Sherhan Schultz. He's been a solid player all season for Dallas, and that's a good catch for him right there.
Well, it was a first down, Carl. Check this out. 1st and 10, Cowboys moving it for the second time on this possession up to the 46-yard line. Ball on the right hash as Dak will look to his left and his right. Got to throw in the licks the fingers there, Carl. Get that ball ready as he'll hand off in the backfield here to Zeke, and Zeke tackled immediately. Good job there getting through. Jones got through and got that tackle on Zeke.
Yeah, that's probably the first tackle for loss of the game, if I'm correct. So now Dallas behind, not on schedule, and this is the ultimate place for that defense to kind of shore up and force a punt. So they have to do it on this play, I think.
Yeah, 2nd and 11 as Prescott will roll out to the left, throws this one. There's your Sherhan Schultz again, goes through one. Has that Jason Witten Rimanesque to him as he crosses the 50-yard line. And he just, reminds me of Witten, man, the way he moves. Got 3rd down coming up here for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Witten in his prime was pretty athletic. There towards the end, he basically caught the ball and, that he got positive yards but didn't get much after. And I think that's what they have to look for is a new young tight end, and they found that this season here with Schultz.
Cowboys in Cards territory at the 48, moving from left to right. As Prescott may change the play up here at the line. He saw something on that defensive front he didn't like. He'll point over to his left receiver.
Yeah,
Triplets
zero gap. They're real pressed.
Tight formation here as Prescott will step back, pump fakes once, drops it off, and boy, Zeke bobbled it around in the right hand, got back above the original line of scrimmage, but there's a flag on the play. I thought he was going to drop that one. We'll see what the flag is here on 3rd and 4.
It's got to be a hold because this was an all-out blitz, and really that's where the Cardinals were threatening the whole time here. I was talking about this being a big series, and looks like they got the 3rd down, and they're going to replay 3rd down just to, if they – it was a really close spot. I wonder if they originally gave him 1st down because Zeke got there, but they probably know that Coach McCarthy is going to go for it on 4th and short in that territory. So they go ahead and give him the penalty. That's a smart job there by the Cardinals because the result of that play probably would have been McCarthy going for it and picking it up the way they've been moving the ball. So good job to get that penalty accepted in the heat of the moment these days.
We'll go here on 3rd and 14 as Prescott will step back being chased by 2. Throws this one over his right shoulder and just had to throw it away. So the Cowboys, after they move the chains twice, more than likely will punt this one away here to start on their opening drive.
Yeah, promising start to that drive and ends with a nice job by that start off at Jones for the tackle for loss following that 1st down that they gave Zeke. It was pretty close, but, they shored up right there near midfield, and now it's going to be a punt, and Kyler Murray will get his first opportunity, all things going well for the Cardinals here.
Brian Anger set to punt this one away. Cowboys around their own 40. This one booming way up into the air here, and it will take a drop around the 10 and goes back in favor of the Cardinals and finally corralled around the 16-yard line. No score. Cowboys got it first. They weren't able to capitalize after moving the chains twice, and here come the Cardinals. We'll see what they can do as we are, about 4 minutes into this one already.
Yeah, the clock didn't really stop on that drive, and I think that it's a promising start, but it just didn't result in points, and points are going to be hard to come by today here for the Cardinals, and I imagine, really the key thing will be who's going to maybe get 14 here in this first half. So we're going to see a lot of stops today, especially the way the Cowboys have been playing this season. We didn't get to talk about Micah Parsons too much in the pregame conversation we had, but man, they're using him in every way that they probably didn't think they would use him based off his tape at Penn State. He was a COVID opt-out at Penn State last year, and this year they've really tried to use him as an edge rusher because of all the injuries at the beginning of the season, and they found out that he's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL, not just in this draft, and he's on his way to probably winning Defensive Player of the Year, but he's definitely locked in on Rookie of the Year for the defensive side of the ball. And I think that that's a really steal of a pick and heartbreaking as an Eagles fan. It's like, okay, they took a good player out of Alabama who won the Heisman, in Devontae Smith, but they traded the Cowboys so the Eagles could jump the Giants to get that pick, and then this guy from Penn State ends up being the best player in the draft probably, falls to the Cowboys on that Eagles trade. But he's been phenomenal this season, and this will be our first opportunity to see him this game. And He's number 11, so keep an eye out him. Just watch the way he plays defense. It's a lot of fun. And then obviously Trayvon Diggs is just having a phenomenal season on the interception side. And, a lot of people on social media like to hate and post him getting burned, but in the NFL, everybody gets burned at some point. They try to catch up. It's just how things go. And no, it'll be fun to watch this defense play.
This past week, right before the new year, the NFL lost one of the greats. In fact, one that my childhood grew up listening to a lot. Unfortunate passing of John Madden. I enjoyed, of course, as many watching John Madden call the games, listening to his voice alongside Pat Summerall, passing away unexpectedly at 85 years old. And so I just want to continue to send our prayers and our condolences to all those that were close to Coach Madden, man. Just an incredible legacy that he leaves behind. I mean, he was really the face and the voice of the NFL, Carl.
Yeah, and he obviously has the video games. That's probably the biggest legacy he's going to leave is the fact that his name is on the only NFL video game, and that's probably the most consistently popular video game of all time. You probably go back to early 90s before I was playing video games, really, when John Madden football came out. So, he really did raise an entire generation of football fans. So this hurts more than just the generation that he coached in. He also affected a lot of people. So it's a tough day for football when you lose John Madden.
We'll start here with the Cards. 1st and 10. They've got it in a good big play here. Probably a gain of around 30 or so, as it was 26 yards is going to be the official call here, as Kyler Murray went under gun and just handed it off there on the right side, found his man, and you talk about a big play to get things started here for the Cardinals. Dallas defense has been pretty top-notch. They've got to watch those big plays. They don't want to give up too many of those.
No, and that jet sweep end around really is the good start of a running game that has helped the Cardinals to their record right now. And they're trying to get this offense going early, and they do with 2 explosive plays.
Yeah, on 1st and 10, back-to-back this time. Chase Edmonds, the running back, as he took it up the right side, moving the chains again. So you go 2 plays here for the Cardinals, and it's immediately moving that chain 2 times. Still no score. But just like that, the Cards now in Cowboys territory. They've got it here 1st down and 10 from around the 46. Here's another handoff as it goes on that right side between the gap to Chase Edmonds. And this time the Dallas defense wasn't having it. Only a gain of 1, bring up 2nd down and long.
Forgive me, Cowboys fans, but I have Chase Edmonds on my fantasy team, and I'm in a consolation bracket, so I'm going to cheer for him. I need him to get all the yards he can right now because I'm just barely winning. But, good start to see him pick up those explosive plays and then get a short gain. That means he's going to get a lot of touches today, I imagine.
9:30 to go in the first. No score. 2nd and 9 for the Cardinals. They'll throw, and this one just out of the reach at the 40-yard lines. It's incomplete as Murray went off the hands of Green there, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 9. We'll see if Dallas can get a good stop here on this 3rd down and 9 coming up.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs is upset because he thought he had a tip drill and it was just out of his hands. But big 3rd down here to stop what was a promising start to the Cardinals drive as well, stalling around the same side of the field that the Cowboys were on when they couldn't pick up a 1st down. The Cardinals forced a punt.
Cardinals team 6th in the league at 44% on 3rd. This one will air out. Got a man wide open on the right side. This one is caught and down around the 4-yard line as Murray aired this one over to that right side, and A.J. Green hauled it in. 1st down and goal. Man.
Yeah, and he's just fast, and he beats Diggs right there. We were talking about it. Everybody gets beat. You have to defend 2 things, and you guess on one, and he almost caught up there to break it up at the very end, to his credit, but just a great catch by Green. Good fake to get just a little off balance from Diggs, and makes us 1st and goal here.
48 catches. He's almost up to 900 yards. So 1st and goal for the Cardinals, 8:42 to go. Down to 3 on the clock. They've got a handoff, and here it is to the left side. Cowboys trying to stop, and running back will take it up there almost to the goal line. Chase Edmonds with another nice carry on the left hash mark. Bring up 2nd down and goal from around the 1.
Oh, come on. Punch it in. Give it to him again. That's heartbreaking as a fantasy owner right there. Come on. I won't harp on it too much, but he almost got a touchdown. And if they go away from him and get the score, I'll be bummed he didn't get it right there. I think
Bring
they
up
should
second and
go to him
goal.
again.
Yeah, they might here on second and goal, only at the 1 yard line. 2 receivers up to the right. Cowboys will try to stand here. This one batted at the line. Great job on that play. Big 92 got his hands up on that one. Dorrance Armstrong and batted it down for the Cowboys. Third and goal coming up.
Yeah, nice job by Armstrong again to force a tip drill just out of Trayvon Diggs' arms. And Cardinals go a little dangerous right there on the quick pass. It was really well defended by the Cowboys. That's why I thought they might try and go power run here. But Dallas owning the goal line right now. This is a big play.
Murray starting this game 1 for 3, 42 yards through the air. Third and goal. It's Murray under center. And the Cards may have flinched there on that right side. We'll see which one it was. Max Garcia, the right guard, he may have moved.
Yeah, I think you're
79.
right. That backs him up 5 yards and opens up the playbook to more opportunities here because you got a little more field to work with. But obviously they were thinking of one play. You hate to see that happen. Cost them a good opportunity to score.
Yeah, Josh Jones was the one that flinched. So what was third and goal from just inside the 1, moving back now to around the 6. So here we go on a third and goal for the Cardinals. Murray will stand in the gun. Triplets in a triangle to the right, nobody to the left. Murray stepping back, pressure in his face. The 20 flags fly, and he'll throw this one back into the side end zone. But there is a flag on the play. We'll see who this one's called on.
I'm going to bet it's holding on the Cardinals. It's a close one, but I think it's going to be holding on the Cardinals because somebody had to protect. Oh, it will be an illegal shift. Oh. A penalty will be declined, and hey, that's all
right.
That's a good defensive bend don't break possession by the Cowboys. They had that backbreaker of a play that, AJ Green caught down that right sideline, but they do a good job of making sure that the Cowboys don't get another opportunity to punch one, or the Cardinals don't get an opportunity to punch one in. Dorrance Armstrong with that huge defensive play to present a quick pass to the outside.
So Prater here from 24 yards on the left hash at rowdy AT&T Stadium. Here's the hold by Lee, kick on its way, and good. And that will end a 9-play, 78-yard drive that took 3:12 off the clock. The Cowboys, they went almost 4 minutes on their opening drive. They weren't able to score, but the Cardinals, they do put up 3 after moving the chains quite a bit. We'll step aside. We'll take a brief break. Stay with us, though, here on the social media streams. Keep those comments coming. We'd love to hear from you. We'll get to those. We'll be back, though, in about 60 seconds as we step aside and take a break. Cowboys trailing the Cardinals 3-0. We'll be back in a moment.
Get along with each other.
All right, friends, welcome back. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening here on the social media feeds. We're talking Cowboys and Cardinals today as the Cardinals open up on their first possession, leading 3-0, first quarter, 7:46 to go. Dallas finds themselves in a slight hole to get things started early here on their home field. We'll see what they can do on their second possession. They weren't able to do anything on that first one.
Hey, appreciate everybody tuning in, by the way. Sounding great as always, gentlemen. Joshua Harris and B joining us as well from Facebook. Hey, I didn't realize we were on Facebook, Rob. James Gibbs saying what's up. Alan Smith saying what's up. And Shaden Christian joining us as well. Should be good. Hey, we got a lot of comments. I didn't realize. We'll have to catch up on the comments a little later, Rob.
Yeah, Shane Christian, good buddy of mine. He owns a pizza joint just north of Huntsville in East Texas, Fat Boys Pizza. It's a loaded baked potato. I'm getting hungry, man. I don't need to be eating that today, Shane, but it's always good, man. Again, 9 plays, 78 yards, 3:12 off the clock. Cardinals leading the Cowboys early here, 3-0. As they'll kick this one away, one back to receive for Dallas. Prater will look to his left. Right toe to leather. This one end over end. And will sell into the end zone, and this time taking a knee and will not return. So the Cowboys will start out on their own 25, and we'll see what they can do on their second possession, Carl.
Yeah, obviously a promising start. Just stalled around midfield on their first possession, and it's just going to be one of those games where points are going to be hard to come by because obviously, as the Cowboys showed, that was a almost empty possession for the Cardinals on a big third down, and then they had a goal line stand to hold them to this field goal that they're at. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun matchup today between these offenses fighting these good defenses.
Prescott throws this one dangerously. It's batted at the line as he was trying to go over to his right side, and luckily that one falls down. It could have been a pick six on that play. He was looking to CeeDee Lamb, and it was nowhere close as it got batted right at the line.
Yeah, that was almost blown up, and what's the joke? That's why the defensive backs aren't receivers, is because they can't catch the balls. That was right in his hands, and if a receiver had it in his hands like that, we would be saying that was a bad catch, but it's a good defensive play.
2nd and 10, 7:43 to go in the first. Cowboys trail 3-0. They've got the ball, second possession of the afternoon on their own 25. Trips down to the right. Here's a handoff over to Zeke, and Zeke guts it up the middle for a hard-fought gain of about 1 or 2 on the play. And just like that, another third down and long coming up for the Cowboys.
Yeah, 3 and out is not what they wanted, and that means that the Cardinals defense is shoring up. It'll be interesting to see what they pull out here on a obvious passing down.
3rd and 9 as Zeke will step up to the line, looks to his left, back to his right.
They still send the outside blitzer.
26-yard line with 4 up front here. We'll see what the Cowboys will dial up here with triplets up to the left. Dak will step back around the 20, looking, dumps this one off over to Zeke. And he's got the first down as he lunges across the 40-yard line on that left side. Good play there, and Ezekiel Elliott once again giving the Cowboys a very critical first down.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about in the pregame conversation we were having, is that Kellen Moore's opening the offense for Zeke to be a pass catcher, and he's in there to block initially, and then he just kind of catches one on the outside while the defense isn't defending that spot. So great play call to pick up a first down.
The throw here, this one will go to the tight end Schultz as he'll dance through defenders, and boy, look at that. Spins around on that far left side, leaps forward, and he's got another first down for the Cowboys. He could have went down with only 2 or 3 up, but he was able to make something out of that play, Carl.
Yeah, momentum back to the Cowboys on this possession as they've started to find a little bit of explosive play opportunities with Zeke and Schultz. That opens up everything else.
Bring up 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 48. Second time they've been in Cardinal territory this afternoon. Here's a quick pass over to Lamb as he'll stiff arm his left arm, and about a yard short on that right sideline as he goes out of bounds. 9 yards on the reception by Lamb. Good grab there.
Yeah, well-designed play. Obviously, it was a play action, initially running the defense to the left side of the field. They don't hand it to Zeke, so it's a one-on-one opportunity for CeeDee Lamb, and on that sort of out route from the far side of the field, he gets a good gain of 9.
Pollard in here is back, I believe, for the first time this afternoon. 5:30 to go in the first. Cowboys trail 3-0. 2nd and 1. They've got it on the Cardinals 39. Prescott with trips up to the left in that tight formation near the left hash mark.
Yeah, safeties are.
And Pollard not really in anything on that one.
Safeties were back to prevent it's kind of what I was talking about earlier, 2nd and 1 deep shot. And that's a good job by the defensive front to still have the respect for the run game. That was probably the safe call, but talked about it earlier. Mike McCarthy loves going forward on 4th down, so they kind of have 2 opportunities here but I bet you they're going to go classic power run game to pick up this 3rd and 1.
Kellen Moore dialing it in here as Zeke back in there. Prescott under center. 3rd and
jumbo
1.
Set.
It's a handoff, and Elliott here, nowhere to go. Yeah,
they brought in
one on that play.
They brought in an extra offensive lineman, put him in as a fullback, which, Mike McCarthy likes to do every now and again. And again, talking about what Mike McCarthy likes to do going forward on 4th and 1. But in this particular case, you see that guy, big number 66, moves over, and it should be one extra blocker, but a nice job just filling in the gaps and forcing a 4th and 1. It's a long one here for the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys going to go for it on 4th and 1, kind of in that no man's land as Prescott. He'll find Schultz again, and Schultz has it this time down to the 25-yard line. He's been the hot man here for Dallas so far in this ball game. 4 receptions, been targeted 4 times, 39 yards, and that one the biggest so far of this early ball game.
Yeah, the 4th and 1, and you want to run it, and that's why they do the play action, and that opens up Schultz on the left side of the field. He gets that first down, and really love Kellen Moore's play calling because that's a big play out to the left side to make it an easy catch for somebody who's having a great game.
Pretty even offensive game so far. 82 yards for the Cowboys, 83 for the Cardinals. 1st and 10, 3:40 to go in the first. Dallas trailing 3-0. Prescott will pump fake once, dumps this one over, and it's tapped up into the air again. That's about the 3rd time we've seen a ball knocked away and it's incomplete.
Yeah, really good job on the pressure side from the Cardinals as they had him backpedaling the whole possession and then a quick throw to try and just get rid of it. Nice job by Prescott. It was scary for a moment when it was tipped in the air.
Yeah, and he had Victor Dimokeji coming right at him. Actually knocked him to the ground. Prescott hopping back up. 2nd and 10, 3:32 to go. Cowboys trailing 3-0. They've got it here on the 26. Little pass over to Pollard on the left side, and Pollard will lower his left shoulder across the 20 into the red zone for the first time this afternoon for the Cowboys. It is 3rd down, though, coming up.
It's ironic. We already see both Pollard and Zeke getting made catches here in the first quarter, and that's just sort of the revolutionary new age offense that Kellen Moore is able to run with those 2 backs where they're almost a second and third receivers sometimes out there.
Cowboys will line back up here 3rd and 4, and oh man, we've got a whistle and a false start, and it may have been on Tyler Biadish.
Yeah, well, we saw a false
6-3.
Yeah, we saw a false start stall out and force a field goal on the Cardinals score, and now this makes it a 3rd and 4 a little bit harder, but already converting 1 4th down on this drive. I wouldn't be surprised if his best option is a check down. He probably goes for that, and they go for it on 4th again, or at least set up for a field goal to tie this thing up.
So now it's 3rd down and 9. Prescott with 3 receivers spread wide to the right, 1 lone Cowboy to the top. Here back to the 25. Prescott stepping back, blitz in his face, and it's incomplete. Near the right hash mark, he was targeting Cooper for the first time at the 15 and incomplete.
Yeah, and this will all but force Greg Zuerlein out there to try and tie this game up as they were going for the first down. And Cooper trying to get his first touch. He complained about touches earlier on in the season, and it was rewarded with lots of touches. Prescott just needs to look his way, and in this particular case, just a bit ahead of him and off his fingertips. But, that's what makes the Cowboys so dangerous are those receivers, and first opportunity to get Cooper involved doesn't go their way.
43-yard field goal attempt to try to tie it here for Zuerlein. The snap, the hold, this one on its way, and it's left. No good from 43. And the Cowboys will remain with the goose egg 3-0 with 2:35 to go here in the first. It's a 12-play, 50-yard drive that took 5:11 off the clock, and it stalled. So Cowboys, they go empty on their first 2 as McCarthy glances up into the air and says, what do I got to do in 2022, Carl? We'll step aside. We'll take about 30 seconds. We'll come back here in a moment. Stay with us. Keep those comments coming. We'd love to hear from you here on the live stream as we're discussing Cowboys football. This is interactive, by the way, so for those of you that are out there, let us know what you like about this game today, and we'll be back here in about 30 seconds. All right, guys, back at it. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening, thanks for joining us as we're just having a little fun, casual discussion about the game today. And you know, Carl, something really cool. We've got a scoreboard going on the stream as well for those of you that are watching or listening. And Nathan Height running that for us. Where are you at, Carl? Are you in San Marcos or San Antonio?
I'm in San Antonio. So, yeah, just my apartment out here. And you're in Huntsville, and Nathan's in Georgetown?
Kind of we've kind of formed the Bermuda Triangle of Texas, man.
Is that right? You're in Huntsville right now? You're not in Georgetown?
Yeah, I'm in East Texas. And
wow.
You're down in San Antonio, and then Nathan's in Georgetown running our scoreboard for us. So, yeah, pretty cool, man. I love how technology does this.
This is a big thing of why we wanted to kind of do the live stream was to test it. And it's really crazy, some of the things we both kind of think up, but don't always have the time to practice or, in this industry, the money, like, a replay system that costs like 20 grand, 24 grand just to get going, that's only for some of the bigger things. But we do a lot with what is within range. And, I think it's awesome what we kind of do and test out. But, intentionally so, I'm in just an echo chamber in here of my girlfriend's office during the day. So we're also testing something out. You have the professional headset, as you see. I'm intentionally using the mic phone of one of our new projects that we're working on. And, a lot of conversation to be had, but off camera about those things. But yeah, we're having fun here, testing out some of this remote stuff. This is really cool how you've set this up.
Here comes the Cardinals. They've got the lead. 2:35 to go in the first, 3-0. They'll start 1st and 10 from their own 23. Here's a handoff. Goes to Edmonds from the quarterback Murray, and he'll spin his way forward for 1 yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Always love seeing my mom on these streams as well. She is listening in from Georgetown. Love you, Mom. Always good to see you. And we'll see what they'll dial up here as Murray will stand in the gun. One back to his right, 2 receivers down, 2nd and 9. Here's the shotgun snap, pass over his right shoulder. This one is caught, and gain of about 3 or 4 just in front of the 4 of the 40-yard line marker. Hurst there on the right side. And 3rd down coming up here for the Cardinals. See if the Cowboys can stop them again.
Yeah, I believe that was Zach Ertz's first catch of the afternoon, and obviously they were hoping it would go for a bit more of an explosive play, but they're faced with 3rd and kind of manageable as Dallas is able to stop Ertz from really doing anything after that catch.
2 receivers up to the right. Trips down 5 wide here. Murray will step back from the 30, throws this one, and it is knocked away and incomplete on the play as he was trying to go to Wesley, broken up by Brown. And the Cowboys defense coming up huge again, 4th and 5. They'll have to punt it away.
Yeah, it seems like it's either feast or famine for this offense. Nothing really going in the basic plays, but the Cardinals are able to get explosive plays. In this particular case, Anthony Brown breaks up a pass on what could have been a very explosive play, forces the punt instead.
So Lee will punt this one standing on his own 25. This one high up into the air, but it's a short punt, takes a bounce, and boy, Cowboys will have fair field position here starting around, I thought for the moment, around the 26, but the side judge will come up and say, no, it went out around the 36, and not a good punt there, but the Cowboys will take advantage of it. We'll see if they can get on the board trailing 3-0. Carl, we'll keep it right here, man. Been fun so far.
Yeah, it seemed like it went off the side of his foot, which formed a bit of a awkward angle, but he was definitely trying to keep it inside. He was trying to send it out of bounds, but further down out of bounds, and that's really an art. We used to do those kicking world things, and those punters really do have a different kind of leg to be able to send their footballs the way they do, and in that particular case, it just sort of backfires. It even happens to the professionals. So see if Dallas can take advantage of. I think it was the 30 you said that the side judge marked it out, so they always guess, and I think they round up, honestly.
31-yard punt to the Dallas 31.
Oh, they give him the 31.
So, gave him up to the 31, yeah. Well, Carl, a few folks joining us on our social media streams. Mentioned Joshua Harris earlier. Alan Smith here in Huntsville, Texas, joining us. Good to hear from you, Alan. James Gibbs in the house. What's going on, James? Let us know where you're listening from. If you're out there, we'd love to hear from you. Just put a comment in. We also have our Cowboys fan text line open, Carl. We always have that one going, 512-522-9105. Again, it's 512-522-9105. Send us a text message. You can even call this time. Leave a voicemail. I normally tell you during my broadcast you can't call it. Well, guess what? I'll let you call it. Just leave a voicemail. We'll see how it goes.
What, and you'll play the voicemail over the air if you seem it related to the content we're putting out?
Yeah, we may have to screen it first. I'll have to put the phone up to my ear. But, yeah, we'd love to put those out there as well, man. So, well, the Cowboys have touched it, 2 times now. They have not been able to score. And this is their third possession coming up. 1:06 to go in the first quarter, and the Cowboys will start on their own 31-yard line here in just a few moments. Carl, what'd you do for Christmas, man? Did you have a good Christmas? I didn't talk to you much over Christmas.
No, we were busy with family doing stuff like that. I was down in Houston with my girlfriend and came back earlier this week and just kind of been hanging out since then. Ran into my parents on New Year's, and that was about it. And they're giving us a nice break here at San Antonio Sports Star. So we go back Monday, but we haven't been back since before Christmas. So looking forward to hitting the ground running. We got a lot of exciting things going on out there in San Antonio.
Here comes the Cowboys. They'll get things started on their third possession. 1:06 to go. 1st and 10 here in the first, trailing 3-0. Prescott 9 of 13, 83 yards to start this game. And this, their best field position starting from their own 31. Prescott hands off here to Pollard. I believe that's Pollard, it is. And he lunges forward across the 45 down to the 43-yard line. So nice little run of 5 yards there on first down. You always like those.
Yeah, solid blocking. And, that's the cool thing about Pollard to have as a second back. He can either go up the middle or he can make catches outside. He's a speedster kind of for his position, and good pick up a 6 to start things.
They'll mark him 6, 2nd down and 4 now, down to 34 seconds here in the quarter for the Cowboys. Handoff again, this time to Pollard. And he'll pick up a few more, about a yard short of that first down marker. So they've went to Pollard quite a few times here in this ball game so far. 3 attempts. He's got 9 yards. Zeke 4 for 4 so far today.
I don't see why they don't just hand it to Pollard again. So far, he's been a positive yard back on this drive. Back-to-back gives. One more time.
3rd and 1.
The first.
And we'll see if they just let this clock run out, and they do. So at the end of the first quarter, Cowboys in the middle of their third possession of the ball game have not been able to get it in. They got in the red zone one time. Their first drive stalled, and it was a missed field goal. And that's where we stand right now, 3-0. We'll take a break. We'll be back in about a minute. Stay with the second quarter coming up. Dallas Cowboys, Arizona Cardinals, Week 17. All right, guys, welcome back. Rob Hibb, Carl Schoening, thanks for joining us. Dallas Cowboys trying to get on the board here as we start the second quarter in just a few moments. Here on the game analysis and discussion on social media. Feel free to chime in. That's what this is all about today. Just doing a little testing. Had quite a few folks already joining us. And for Carl and I, we haven't been able to do any type of a broadcast in a long time, so it's Good to be back with you, man. Doing a little NFL fun stuff today.
What was the last time we did a broadcast together? The 2019 Division II NCAA tournament? I think it was St. Ed's.
I believe so, man. Yeah.
That might be right. Geez, 2019 feels like a long time ago. We had no idea what was going on right after that, man. That was good times, though. That was a fun weekend when SHN did the 2019 NCAA Division II tournament.
Yeah,
Shout out to St. Ed's.
For you and I, man, we had no idea where we would be now. If we go back to that year and look, you're in San Antonio, I'm here in Huntsville. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Cowboys as we'll get things started here in the second. Dallas has it on their own 40, moving from right to left. Prescott gets the shotgun snap. Pollard has the first down across the 45 on that right hash mark near the 48-yard line. I like that on 3rd and 1. You said it, Carl. Why not go back to Pollard? There he goes. And first down for the Cowboys. They'll move the chains.
Seems like that's the smart thing to do. He gives you 9 yards on 2 carries, and he's going to pick up that first and a lot more there. As seems like they picked up a flag, or they did call a flag, and they're going to move him back. Wow, that's a loss of a good first down there, and all the work that Pollard did negated by a hold by Collins.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Cowboys already 3 penalties for 25 yards. 3rd and 11 now after it was a first down, but that penalty moves it back. Prescott with one back to either side looking to pass here. He'll tuck and run, and he's sacked. Now he's sacked. It took him a while to go down on that right side around the 32. He was manhandled from behind and goes down on a tough sack there from the Cardinals. And now the Cowboys, once again, a drive stalling for him as I believe it was Buda Baker, the safety, 5'10", 195 out of Washington, slammed him down for the sack.
Yeah, Baker just shakes off Pollard, and then he wraps around Dak, and he made a solid defensive play earlier in the game. That's the best one he's made today.
This punt popped up around the 10, and he's down at the 9. Beautiful punt there by Anger, 57 yards. They're going to officially mark it up to the Arizona 14. It was a return of -5 on the play. So at least you can say, hey, special teams are doing something a little good here in this ball game. But really the offense have got to put some points on the board. Cowboys trail 3-0, 13:52 as we're underway in the second, Carl.
Yeah, and that's all because of the penalty right there. 3 penalties for 25 yards so far in this game, but none bigger than that one, I think. That cost them a first down and made a 3rd and 11, really stalled that drive. So, that's how the game goes sometimes. If you don't really play perfect on a drive, you might not score. And in that particular case, that's what happened for the Cowboys.
Yeah, last drive for the Cowboys, 3 plays, -2 yards, 2:14 off the clock. And Dallas, 5 first downs. They're only 1 of 5 on 3rd down and 95 yards so far. 21 plays that they've ran, only 11 plays for Arizona. But Arizona had a few of those big plays in this ball game. So far, though, Dallas not able to get down and do much. And they've had the ball, Carl. You add it all up, 11 minutes and 27 seconds compared to 4:41 for the Cardinals. So Dallas has got to find a way to put some points on the board. And, it's where are we at, man?
Yeah. I think that's sort of what we were talking about earlier. Is this is going to be a real defensive battle despite both the Cardinals and the Cowboys being so good defensively because or offensively as well. They're both just as good defensively. And, I kind of projected that somebody might score 14 points in this half. Looks like I overguessed. So, if the Cardinals can come away with the score here in the second quarter and still have the lead going into the locker rooms, they'll be happy about this. They're the best team in the NFL on the road. They had 8 road wins in 2021. They have an opportunity to become, I think, like the 10th team to have 9 road wins, or I might be one off on that. But, yeah, the Cardinals are just having a phenomenal season on the road, and a road win against the Cowboys with their defense playing well is a really good sign after that 3-game losing streak that they're currently on.
Well, the Cardinals started hot, 7-0 to get things started. They have since started out hot and then dropped a few here down the stretch. I believe you said 3 in a row now, and so Those losses started versus Los Angeles, at Detroit, then versus Indianapolis. And so they've got one more game on the schedule after this one, hosting Seattle, and that'll wrap up their season. They have clinched a playoff berth, as have the Cowboys. So here comes the Cardinals, 3-0 lead, 13:52 to go here in the second. They've got it. They will start this drive, their own 9-yard line. Here's a handoff in the backfield to the back, Edmonds, who has been busy, and maybe just a short gain for Edmonds on that play. They'll call it a 2-yard gain, bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Leighton Vander Esch just finds the gap that the blockers couldn't quite fill and keeps Edmonds from really taking off. And, like I said, give him more touches, but they might have to get a bit more creative because they've stopped him going up the gut a couple times now after that one big game that he had earlier. And he clears out to the left side now as a slot receiver.
One receiver also down to the right. Edmonds will go into motion here from left to right. Murray will step back, throws this one from the 3 over to the right side, and this one incomplete in the sunshine on that right side, trying to lay out and make the grab there, and not able to come up with it. It's incomplete as he was trying to go to Kirk out there on that right side.
Yeah, who knows what the Kyler Murray actually saw, but you said it right. It was a throw into the sunshine. That's where the football landed, which is kind of right where the play was designed to go, just a little off on the timing, and sets up a big 3rd down here for the Cowboys to force 3 and out.
3rd down for the Cardinals, as so far today, 1 of 5 on 3rd down. Here's the high snap back to the goal line as Murray, able to elude it, drops this one off, has the 1st down around the 20 as he goes to Edmonds, and he's slammed down at the chest line around the 28, but it is a 1st down after, for a moment, it looked like Murray may have went down back there, but he was able to stay on his feet. Lawrence was chasing him.
Yeah, Lawrence was looking for the hold as Murray escaped, and then Dorrance Armstrong lays a hit on Murray as he completed the pass to Edmonds. And man, I talked about them getting creative ways to get the ball to Chase Edmonds. They find it on a rollout under pressure and pick up a big 1st down for the Cardinals offense.
12:26 to go, 1st and 10, all the way up to the 28-yard line. Here's Jonathan Ward, the ball carrier, up to the 30 on the left hash mark, so a short gain, 2nd and long coming up for the Cards. The Red Sea trying to add more on, leading 3-0 with 11:47 to go here in the second.
Yeah, and this is kind of a testament to where the Cowboys defense has really come so far. They gave up franchise records and records they didn't want to set last year, and Dan Quinn's really turned this team around. A big stop on this drive and maybe a score on the other way would go a long way to showing how far they've come.
2nd and 8 as a dart was delivered as Murray got slammed down, but he was able to find, I believe he went over to Ertz on that play for 3 yards. And boy, I'll tell you what, Murray got absolutely drilled on that play. He paid for it as Gregory came in and slammed him down.
Yeah, he's taken a couple hits back-to-back on this drive, but, that's life of a quarterback, and in this particular case, he still gets the pass off, and that's a kudos to him.
Antone Wesley, one of the receivers here on 3rd down and short. He has it on the left side, and he stopped about a yard or 2 short on the play. Good defense stepping up and making that tackle there by Dallas was Brown.
Yeah, lots of pressure, forces a quick throw and hope that the receiver can make a play. But in that particular case, Cowboys lock up the goal line, or the yard to gain, I should say, and force a punt.
There's a punt by Lee for the Cardinals. They're going to fake it here. This one thrown over, and it's incomplete. Boy, that ball was – wait a minute, Carl. Did it look like that ball was caught as was stuck on the back of a Cowboy player?
That might
Brown
be an
was back
interception.
There. There's a flag back there. Anthony Brown, it looked like it stuck on his back, and they're fighting through this, but there is a flag on 4th and 2. We'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, well, the fake punt in that area is obviously not recommended, but we'll see what they do decide to call here at the result of the play, because the ball wasn't incomplete in its traditional sense. And the Cardinals are saying that they picked up the first down because let's see the replay. Geez, that's crazy. What's going on here? It's a direct snap to one of their backs, and he just kind of makes a lob to where he thinks a receiver's going to be. And
man, what a catch there by
is that a catch?
Wesley,
That's a catch.
I believe it was. Yeah, I thought it was stuck on his back. Well, that was because, that ball is caught. Unbelievable catch. Ward just held it on his shoulder and was able to pull that one in. That's what I was saying. I saw the ball in the back of Wright, but you talk about Ward being able to hold on to that ball, Carl. We'll see if they give him the catch.
I think that's the catch of the year. There's no way that can. Oh my God, I haven't seen a better catch this year. That was. You guys have to look that up on Twitter here soon, or your social media when they post the Cowboys Cardinals highlights, because this is a big play. 4th down. The ball's probably coming to you because that's the only throw that the man in the backfield that the direct snap to is going to make, and he just does everything he can to complete that catch using the defender's body the entire time until he can corral it. Doesn't touch the grass. That might be the catch of the year. That's insane.
Yeah, unbelievable catch, and it is a first down. They're going to call it. It's 1st down and 10 now as the Cards have it on the 30 or 41-yard line of the Cowboy. Handoff to Edmonds, nowhere to go on that play, and they'll say no gain. Maybe they gave him 1.
Yep, again, when Edmonds gets the give up the middle, they figured that out on the blocking scheme, so they're going to have to start working him outside, mostly as a receiver, because that's been what's working for them after that one big explosive play that Edmonds had earlier in the game.
2nd down and 9. Murray in the gun. From the 40 of Dallas, Murray looking, throws over center. This one is caught. Only a short game. Ertz there with the catch, I believe it was. Called it about a 3-yard catch on the play, and Van Der Esch coming up with the tackle. Bring up another 3rd down here on this drive for the Cardinals.
Yeah, not a spectacular play, but a really good show of talent by Ertz to make that catch, and a bullet pass thrown by Kyler Murray, who I think we talked about it. Yeah, he loves playing in this stadium at AT&T Stadium. He's undefeated. He's like 9-0 going back to his sophomore year in high school when he won 3 straight state championships with Allen High School.
Triplets up top to the left, down to 4 on the clock. 3rd and 5. Murray airs this one to the left side, and it's incomplete. And there's the flag. I was about to say it looks like Dallas was all over him. Donovan Wilson was draped over him like a cheap suit. And it looked, his hand was under him. I don't know, though. There could have been an offensive there, too, as he was being held.
Yeah, Ertz is too big for the contact to really be initiated there. And then Ertz just tries to fight for the ball, and it's obvious that Wilson is just holding him a little bit too much, delaying his opportunity to catch the ball. Obviously, in the heat of the moment, he doesn't think that he did anything, but the tape's going to show that that was the right call and a big first down to continue this drive for the Cardinals and another back-breaking penalty for Dallas.
Yeah, 439 yards and penalties. Ball here was a miscommunication. Edmonds gets slammed down by Gregory for a loss on the play. 5-yard loss as Gregory hit him hard.
Yeah, you could say that again. And I think the play just didn't have time to develop. It looked like it might have even been designed. It was a designed run to Edmonds, but he just didn't have an opportunity to fake it on that direct snap. And like I said, they're trying to get creative ways for Edmond to get his touches. That one didn't work.
Now the snap went right to him. Cowboys read it. 2nd and 15, 8:15 to go. Cardinals backed up to the 32. Murray throws over center, has a man wide open at the 10, and he's slammed at the numbers on the left side, but it's enough for a first down. And inside the red zone now, the Cardinals, as Green had it on the reception.
Yeah, another catch by A.J. Green to get the Cardinals into the red zone. He's had 2 of those so far this game, and the last time they were stopped at the goal line, but Green definitely doing his part to at least give the Cardinals their opportunities.
It's 1st and goal, 7:40 to go and ticking. 9 rushes, 13 passes here. Murray 7 of 12 for 92. Here's Edmonds trying to stiff arm his way to the 5, and He'll go out of bounds there on that left side as he was chased by Jordan Lewis. So second and goal coming up.
Yeah, long stretch play there, and he couldn't quite turn the corner. Good job bottled up that run by the Cowboys. They have definitely done their homework on Chase Edmonds and what his role in the offense is for Arizona.
Go no huddle here as Murray in the gun, Edmonds to his left. Type formation on the left hashes. Clap for the shotgun snap back to the 15. Murray trying to weave through traffic, being chased here. Finally out of bounds at the 4, but there is a flag on the play. Gregory chasing him out of bounds. And we'll see. It may have been an offensive hold. Yep, that's the call, Carl. An offensive hold there. It's going to go on Jones, and that's a 10-yard penalty. That's a big one because you're down inside near the 4-yard line. Now you're going back.
Yeah, and the Cardinals obviously want to come away with a touchdown, but another penalty changing the flow of the offense on both teams here, as this time this makes it second and goal from, we'll see where the penalty yardage marks them up, but it's behind the 10-yard line.
Under 7 to go, and that will move the ball back here to the 16-yard line. Cardinals leading 3-0, second and goal. Pass over in the flats to the right side. It's caught to the 10, down to the 5, and out of bounds.
They get that penalty yardage back.
Yep, Dortch there with a nice grab to that right side, and you're exactly right, Carl. 10 yards brings up third down and goal from the 5. The market actually, it looks like around the 6.
Yeah, they went clear out backfield, and that created some blocking opportunities, and he steps out of bounds right around the 5. But a smart play there to at least get those 10 yards back, and a big third and goal here for Arizona to try and extend their lead.
Edmonds lines up as the back to the right of Murray. Ball at the center field, third and goal from the 6. Murray will step back, zings it under his right shoulder to Edmonds, and he is stopped 1 yard short there by Parsons on the right side.
Yeah, Micah Parsons making a big defensive play on a big defensive play needed situation. Edmonds, again, catching it well as they've stopped any of his run opportunities, but he can't get that extension because Parsons sniffs out the play, gets there before he really has a chance to explode, and just brought down near the goal line. Looks like they're going to go for it on fourth and goal from inside the 2.
Yeah, that rookie is so fast. Parsons, one of the already setting franchise records in sacks for the Cowboys, but that time on the secondary, here's second or fourth down and goal. Cardinals will go for it. A handoff here, and I believe a timeout. No, there's a flag on the field.
I think this is a false start. The offensive line didn't know the snap count. Did they get a timeout off in time? I think the Cardinals got a timeout before the flag.
Yeah, it was a 30-second timeout called by Dallas, their first one. And let's take a break, Carl. We'll be back in a few moments. I'm going to go hydrate some more. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, and we'll see what happens. Thanks for joining us. All right, back at it. Fourth and goal coming up. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening here in the house. Thanks for joining us. A little game analysis and discussion as the Cardinals will go for it again here on fourth down and goal. Under center is Murray. Fakes the handoff, rolls to the left, throws, caught, touchdown. Boy, well-designed play there. Over to Antoine Wesley for 1 yard. My goodness.
Yeah, obviously at the goal line, the Cowboys' main thought process were the A and B gaps, so they tightened those up, and that created that rollout opportunity to the left side for Kyler Murray, and the play action really throws the linebackers off for just a moment, and still a great throw.
Yeah, boy, Murray was going to the left, had to throw it as he was still moving, zinged that one over, dropped it above 2 defenders, and Wesley wide open for the grab as the Cardinals trying to make it 10-0 here. 5:27 to go. The extra point kick by Prater. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's good. 10-0 the score. Cowboys find themselves in a hole here to start 2022. And that catch is really, Carl, what set that up.
Yeah,
And kept things alive. The catch of the year, man, so far in the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that was a wild situation to fake the punt. Obviously, you don't see many of those all year long, and they faked the punt, and it was, I think, at their own 25. They were deep in their own territory, so it was a dangerous play to attempt to pass, and an incompletion turnover on down, setting up Dallas with almost a red zone opportunity right away. That was a gutsy play, but the catch, I don't think you can replicate that if you tried. How he was able to just hold it off of the helmet and really make a name for himself. He kept it on the kind of shoulder of the defender, and a fourth and I think that was 4th and 2, obvious passing play. Just crazy way to pick up a eventual touchdown thanks to that 4th down conversion.
It was a 15-play, 91-yard drive that took 8:25 off the clock to give the Cardinals the 10-0 advantage here. 5:27 to go in the second quarter. So far in this ballgame, Murray, the quarterback, 10 of 15, 108 yards, and that touchdown just moments ago. And then on the rushing side, Dortch had the one run for 24. Edmonds, 8 attempts for 18 yards. Other than that, Cowboys have not been able to find anything. Arizona now with 8 first downs, 2 for 6 on third, 175 total yards compared to 95 for Dallas. And we didn't have a lot of time in that pregame crawl to go over just kind of the matchup between these two teams. Of course, we mentioned both of them making the playoffs. It's the 90th meeting between Dallas and Arizona. This rivalry has been going on since the Cowboys' entrance in the league in 1960. They faced each other 2 times per season as part of the NFC East since 1970 through 2001. And in those 90 games, 18 have been decided by 3 or more touchdowns, 27 by less than a touchdown. There's been 6 overtime games and 1 tie. And so this is a matchup here between both of these teams. Just really trying to hunt for some seeding as we go into the playoffs. Of course, the Cowboys 11-4, Cardinals at 10-5. Cowboys first in the NFL in scoring. Of course, that Washington game last week helped out a lot with that.
Yeah, and I think they've just had a great offense all season, and this really is a big game for Dallas. It's their last home game of the regular season. They're trying to cap off a great season and pretty much secure that 2 seed in the NFC, since the Packers have an opportunity to secure the first overall seed in that first round bye this evening against the Vikings. So, yeah, we'll have to see how this game really determines the seeding for the playoffs.
Here's the kickoff short to the 5-yard line, returnable by the Cowboys across the 20 and Clement up near the 23-yard line. It's an 18-yard return by the Cowboys. The last time these two teams met, it was back in Week 6 of the 2020 season. Dallas entering its first game after Dak Prescott had that season-ending ankle injury. The Cowboys offense struggled in that one as Arizona defeated the Cowboys 38-10 at AT&T Stadium. They don't want to have a little deja vu here if you're a Cowboys fan.
No, and obviously they really just need to focus on this moment where they're down 10-0, haven't been able to even get a score. Missed field goal was the best opportunity from 43 yards out. This is a must-score drive for their own emotion to go into the locker rooms.
Prescott under center, 1st and 10 from his own 23, trailing 10-0. Here's the handoff to Elliott to the left side as he finds the gap up near the 30-yard line. And a run there by Zeke for 6 on first brings up second and a manageable 4.
Yeah, that push to the outside. Zeke was running like he wants to score on this drive, and they have the sun behind them, so that makes it tough for the defense. We'll see how Dallas can handle this drive here to try and cut into this 10-point lead for the Cardinals.
2nd to 5. Cooper out there as a receiver. Prescott will step back near the 20. Throws to the right side to Cooper, and Cooper's got the first down inside the 40. Second time he's been targeted in the first grab for Amari Cooper. 9 yards. That's a Cowboys first down.
Yeah, utilizing Cooper just makes you all that much dangerous. Still not much going to CD Lamb so far in this game, but he's another weapon that Dak can look that way at any given point.
Schultz, tight end for the Cowboys. It's first down and 10 for Dallas. They've got it up near the 37. Prescott will float this one over to Schultz, and he's got it up about 8 yards, maybe 7. So bring up second down and a manageable 3 for the Cowboys. Doing a good job here, but Carl, this is what we've seen all game. They've been able to move the ball, and then a penalty will stall a drive or something like that, and we'll see, though, if the Cowboys can hold this drive together.
Yeah, penalties have really been the difference in this game. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Dallas is within a field goal, if not in the lead, because they were moving the ball last time with Pollard, and that holding pretty much put them off schedule and cost them the punt.
Zeke in the backfield. He'll cut his way forward. Powerful running there by Ezekiel Elliott, and I believe he's got enough for the first down near the Cowboys star at midfield. It is a first down. Good run.
Yes, this is Zeke's series because we were talking about Pollard on the last series, but this time Zeke's doing a lot of running, fresh legs. That's why you're able to kind of rotate those guys, and defense going to have to pick up Zeke on this drive. I'm sure he's going to be involved in the next several plays.
6 carries, 13 yards so far for Elliott. First down and 10. Prescott under center. Same formation with 2 receivers up top to the right, 1 to the left. Time running down, though, on the play clock, down to 2. Prescott's got to see it. He gets it off just in time. Hand off to Elliott. Elliott zigzagging through defenders. He's got the first down and more up to the 34-yard line. Heck of a run there, but there's no flag. I was about to say, but is there a flag? Yep, there it is. Carl, I blew it, man.
Yeah, I think you and I saw kind of the same thing that opened that hole up for Zeke just outside the trench, and that really is another backbreaker as a big explosive play for, Zeke gets pulled back because of a hold on Dalton Schultz, the tight end, and that makes it a tougher uphill battle on a drive that looks so promising to start.
Another one there, and that one's coming back. Cedric Wilson, a wide receiver out there on the field for the Cowboys. First and 17 now. That ball will move back to around the 41-yard line. 5 wide. Throw over. This one goes into the hands of Wilson. And Wilson across the 45 to the 46-yard line. A pickup there of 7 yards for Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, you pointed him out. Wilson also with kind of fresh legs gets one of his few targets on the day. I think that's his first, if I'm not mistaken. And opportunity here for Dallas to sort of find their rhythm again by sharing the wealth from Zeke as they go 5 wide again.
Prescott again to Wilson, and Wilson lunging forward to the 42-yard line. That's enough for a Cowboys first down. So back-to-back passes to Wilson, and the Cowboys move the chains.
I think that's
like on to the 2-minute warning.
I think that's like on Madden, how you do the same play twice and you run it to perfection the same way twice. Good job by Wilson to keep that drive going after that, what could have been a back-breaking penalty on the hold by Schultz following that Zeke run. But, it almost doesn't matter anymore, as that was such an explosive run by Zeke that the hold only brought them back a little bit. And from this point on, you're going to see just kind of a steady dose of Wilson because he gets 2 catches, that he's feeling it too. So an opportunity to show off one of the receivers we haven't talked about in Cedric Wilson, who's not having a bad season himself as sort of the 3rd, 4th receiver at any given time.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the 2-minute warning. Thanks for joining us, friends. Cowboys trailing 10-0 on their home turf. Here, the first game of 2022. Doesn't seem like the years are flying by the way that they are. And if you're out there listening, we got quite a few folks joining us. Make sure to send some of those comments coming in. We'd love to hear from you. And they'll display on the screen up there.
Well,
and we'll interact with you.
Was it a long or a slow 2021? Because I thought the 2021 lasted forever.
Man, it's crazy because I felt like there was a lot more adversity in 2021 than there was in 2020. And, of course, the whole world's still dealing with the pandemic. And, unfortunately, those numbers are on the rise. I've been having to broadcast a lot of games remotely for college that I broadcast for during basketball season just because of the pandemic. And, it's crazy, man, Carl, but I put on social media the other day, we have so much more to be thankful for. You can sit down and make a list of the bad things that happen and the good things, and I can almost guarantee there was a lot more good that happened. And it always seems like, too, the same folks that post, Carl, every year, oh, I'm glad 2020's over, or 2021's over. They say that every year. So do you ever have a good year?
Yeah, no, it's been, a tough last couple of years, obviously, for several reasons. But, it really does feel like a long time ago since, we were doing the great sports rush of 2021, where, a lot of seasons that you and I both cover, such as Sam Houston State winning the FCS championship, were pushed to the spring. So, we worked double seasons in a way this year where, football happened twice in 2021, and that's probably never going to happen again, hopefully. So, it really was kind of a crazy year with how much football we've had, but all sports in general. I'm just happy sports found a way through this pandemic, because that's almost what 2021 was about, persistence and making sure we can do things we love, like watch the Cowboys. And the Eagles.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys out of the 2-minute warning. This one popped up into the air and intercepted. There is a flag, though, as this one will drop right into the hands of Baker down there, but there is a flag, and we'll see who this one is on.
If it stands, that's an interception for Baker to kind of make up for what would have been a sure pick six earlier, but it won't stand.
Oh, they're going to say Hamilton. Yeah, the pass interference on Hamilton. Yeah, he was holding him. Easy to see that on the replay. Late flag. Cooper was held, man. I mean, just wrapped up, Hamilton on him. Ball popped up, and from one camera angle, if you're watching on TV, it didn't look like much, but from that back camera angle, you could see that he was giving him a bear hug back there.
Yeah,
so
great
break
call
for the Cowboys.
Official.
1st down and 10. So we'll move it up here at the 36. Prescott. This one batted down in the backfield again, and my goodness, it's another one. Budda Baker has been busy here for this Arizona Cardinals defense.
Yeah,
2nd and 10.
Yeah, he's been all over the field, in the backfield, near the line of scrimmage. Just there you see him on a blitz and batting down the ball on the pass attempt, even faked out the camera operator who was so close to Dak that he covered some ground right before the snap and timed that snap perfectly.
So the Cowboys moving the ball, but once again, drive starting to stall here. 2nd down and 10. Cowboys on the Cardinal 36. And that right hash mark. Trips down to the left. Prescott stands in the gun. Can't tell if that's Pollard or Elliott down there. It's Elliott. Here's Prescott looking. Throws incomplete at the feet there. Flag comes flying in, but it was incomplete at the feet. We'll see who that was on. CeeDee Lamb finally got one targeted towards him, but it's going to go against Arizona.
Yeah,
so
they
two pass interference plays here against the Cardinals on this set of downs for Dallas.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's back-to-back pass interference calls that are pretty big. In this particular case, we're going to get a chance to look at the replay. I thought it was underthrown by Dak, but it was enough that I think any momentum back towards Dak that CeeDee Lamb needed, it looked like it was a comeback route, was definitely delayed. So great call by the officials again, and this keeps the Dallas drive going.
Penalties up to the 26. Prescott steps back, throws. This one knocked up, and it's incomplete by Schultz. Went right out of his hands, and guess who was down there? Baker again. Boy, he's about to put up a couple of loaves of bread if he keeps up what he's doing tonight.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means, Carl.
No worries.
No idea.
Schultz needed to explode and jump high to make that catch. He got his hands on it, but, man, another tip drill opportunity. We saw one result in a catch for Baker earlier this drive.
Here's Prescott. This one batted at the line. My goodness, this time it is Byron Murphy Jr., the cornerback, batting it down, and 3rd and 10 coming up for the Cowboys, trailing 10-0. 1:20 to go here in the first half of play.
Yeah, a little bit of a contain there and a nice job on the sort of pass rush as he wasn't going to guard Lamb, just bats down the pass, and that was his entire goal, is to shut down that side, and brings a big 3rd down here for the Cowboys.
Prescott stepping up, 3rd and 10. Shotgun snap. That's a free play. Offsides. Prescott's got a free one here. He'll throw to the right side, targeting Cooper, and it's well incomplete. It was a free play, though. Defensive moved across the line and offsides. So 3rd and 5. Boy, the penalties just coming all over the place here on this drive.
Yeah, both teams doing it to themselves, but really on this drive, it's all about, and this time Budda Baker being committed for the offsides. His aggressive play has made several plays in this game, but that one's a costly one and almost could have been more as Cooper was being held in the end zone as well. They are allowed to throw 2 flags on a play, Yeah, as McCarthy, they show a close-up of him. He thought they should have called that, and they would have accepted that penalty instead of the offsides.
Budda Baker, a little too much butter on his toast, Carl. 3rd and 5 coming up here. Prescott will step back, throws left side. This one up, back, caught. Is it a touchdown? Oh, baby, Gallup came up with it, and the Cowboys are on the board.
Man, Gallup looks like he's coming up a little bit slow after the touchdown, so hopefully he's all right. Hate to see injuries, but he's grabbing his knee, but he still got the touchdown, and hopefully he'll be able to smile about this in a few minutes. And what a catch it was by Gallup, as this was a throw to the goal line the whole way. He sort of pushes off to create the contact in space, but they're not going to call that. And after review of us seeing it slow motion on the replay, it looks like that is a touchdown for Gallup.
Yeah. So Gallup injured on the play. And, they are immediately saying his return is questionable. That came through the stat line just that quick, saying his return is questionable. Man, that's just amazing how fast they get that information from the field up to the statisticians. Carl, we'll step aside. We'll take a break. Cowboys on the board, though, with 1:25 to go here in the first half. Stay with us. It's Dallas Cowboys game analysis and discussion here on YouTube. All right, friends, back at it. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening. As just moments ago, the Cowboys, 11 plays, 77 yards, 4 minutes off the clock. They finally get on the board with a touchdown. And here is Zerline for the extra point kick on its way and good. And the Cowboys pull to within 3. They really needed that one as they go down the first 3 or 4 possessions. They weren't able to capitalize. Penalties have been a problem for the Cowboys, Carl, as you know, of course. But this time it was penalties by Arizona that went in favor of the Cowboys. They were able to capitalize and get on the board.
Yeah, something might be wrong with your offense if you're not able to score off of, a hold and 2 pass interferences on the same drive. So, that would have been really demoralizing for Dallas if the Cardinals defense was able to recover from those 2 things after the shutout up to that point. But now it's anybody's game yet again. It could be a tie game if it weren't for the zero-line missed field goal earlier. And, this is the 2-minute drill, except it's down to 1:25 in your practice that you do at the end of every practice for the Cardinals here as they get set to get the ball back before the locker rooms. Sort of an extra possession.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Arizona, they
Gets the
kicked
ball
off
back.
to Dallas to start this game, so they're going to try to move quick.
Yeah,
That
this is a
previous
bonus
drive
possession.
capped off by the Cowboys. Gallup 21 yards, and here's Dallas to kick this one away. It'll be up to the defense to hold them. As Zerline will look to the left, to the right, now runs up, swings his right foot, booms this one into the back of the end zone. And Arizona will have it first down and 10 to start things here. They've got 1:25 to work with and 3 timeouts, leading the Cowboys 10-7. They're trying to avoid dropping their 4th in a row coming into this ballgame. 4 or 5, Carl. I forget how many. They've dropped 3. Trying to avoid their 4th in a row.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there's we didn't get to see the coin toss. We were talking about the results of the coin toss, and I wonder if maybe some of that is that the Cowboys decided to force the Cardinals in the second and maybe fourth quarter to look into the sun on this drive.
Murray drops this one off over to Edmonds. The left side, Van Der Esch pushing him out of bounds. Short gain on the play. They're going to call it here about 2 yards by Edmonds.
Yeah, I
Van
think
Der Esch
really
coming up with a
Dallas.
stop there.
I think Dallas really bottling up Edmonds has been the key thing to this second quarter that they've been focusing on. Most of this game, they've done a good job stopping him after his successful first
Second
drive
and 7.
score.
Inside the 30, Murray looking, throws this one, and it is caught here by Ertz. He is about 2 yards short of the first down marker. They're going to call it 5 yards. We'll see if they run it here. As Edmonds, it is a run to Edmonds. Up the middle from the left side over the right hash, and he's got the first down to the 40. And I would expect Arizona to burn a timeout, and they do, their first of 3 with 51 seconds to go, leading 10-7.
Yeah, Edmonds been their guy that they kept involved in the offense and finally was able to break one around that B gap and found the hole to get a solid play and pick up a first down. And yeah, nice clock management too, using that timeout, 51 seconds to try and add on to a 3-point lead. Edmonds probably going to get another touch before it's all said and done. Might go back to A.J. Green as he's been a key target to get them into the red zone this first half.
It's first and 10 here for the Red Sea. They've got it on the 40, call it the 39-yard line on their own side, left to right, Murray. Quarterback in shotgun. Throws this one, drops it off over on the right side. Lunging forward here is Ertz, and he's about 3 short. They're going to call it an 8-yard reception. And they're going to do a hurry-up, no-huddle offense here on 2nd down and 1. This actually should be 2nd and 2. Murray throws left side. This one caught, first down, as he goes over to Kirk. And Kirk's got the first down. Most importantly, Carl, he steps out of bounds, and that stops the clock at 28 seconds.
Yeah, and that was honestly the key play there. Not only did they stop the clock, they pick up the first down, and they want more than a field goal out of this, and they at least are getting closer to field goal territory. With 28 seconds left, they maybe have 5 plays left in them if they can run them well and pick up another first.
Yeah, Prater's over there warming up. Here we go, 1st and 10. Cardinals have it in Cowboys territory at the 48 on the left hash mark. Murray throws this one now in field goal range after the reception as he threw it right to Kirk. And Kirk will pick up 5 yards. So, again, now the Cardinals are in field goal territory. They'll burn their second timeout, and they've got 1 remaining.
Yeah, that's so far just textbook clock management and execution here in these 2-minute drills. We talk about that every team practices from day 1 of the training camp, and I can only imagine as things keep on progressing that they're at least going to get a field goal possession out of this if, these backbreaking penalties don't come haunting the Cardinals again or the Cowboys.
Prater can hit him, too. He had a 63-yarder, his career high, versus the Titans in his career. And here we go on 2nd down and 5. Murray in the gun, steps back to the 50, throws this one over his right shoulder. No pass interference was called, and it's incomplete to Green. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag there. He was being held, looked like on that left shoulder.
Yeah, I think he's looking for that, but the officials decide that it's not enough to call on Trayvon Diggs, who does a good job staying hip to hip, and he even thinks he has a case for maybe getting a pass interference called on Green, as there was a little bit of a push-off to create some space, and that's a little bit of a veteran move, a contact initiated. You can get back a little bit of contact, and that was almost 6 points for Arizona, just out of the reach of Green's hands.
Now down to 17 seconds, that ball resting on the 44-yard line. Arizona from left to right, down to 2 on the play clock. Murray's got to get it off. There may have been a offsides, and they do whistle it dead, though. We'll see if there was movement on that right side.
Yeah, I get the feeling they're going to call this against DeMarcus Lawrence offsides and pick up a first down for the Cardinals. We'll see.
Yeah, Lawrence way offsides.
Yeah, and Murray wasn't even going to take the free play. He threw that football to the ground and made sure that wasn't going to be a big hit on him. It was almost timed perfectly by Lawrence, though.
Getting down to 15 seconds. Not enough for the first down. 3rd down and inches. Again, Cardinals are in field goal range, though. 15 seconds here down to the 38-yard line of the Cowboys. Murray in the gun. One back to his left, trips down to the right. Murray hands off to that back. And it's slamming his way forward as Edmonds for a short gain. Got the first down, and they've got 1 timeout remaining, so do you just go for one more play here, Carl? See if you can get it in the end zone. If not, go for the field goal.
Looks like they used that final timeout, and that's obviously setting up for the field goal. 10 seconds, no timeouts left. You didn't want to rush to kill the ball after picking up the first down and, basically it being a moot point, saving the timeout. So looks like they're going to keep Murray out there, so I guess they're going to go one quick pass on an out route just to try and pick up a little more yards or maybe even go for an end zone shot. So not sure. I've been talking about how this is a textbook clock management, so how this play ends up will really kind of be a testament to that. They do have one more chance to pick it up, but the Cowboys can make a good stop here to end this half.
Ball on the 35-yard line. Murray trying to get a little bit more. Down to 8 seconds. Almost brought down. Still on his feet. Throws. Airs this one. It's incomplete. Just had to throw it away. So 3 seconds on the clock. Arizona will have a chance for a field goal to head in to the locker room. They're currently leading 10-7.
How about Micah Parsons? Once again, just creates all of the pressure on Murray there. I was saying how they were a defensive play away from ending the half. If that sack had happened, just barely escaping it was Murray. And, man, that would have made sure that this was a 10-7 halftime score. But, hey, good job by Kyler Murray to escape out of the pocket and throw the pass incomplete.
53-yard attempt by Prater. It's within his range, and the Cowboys will burn their second timeout. Prater is on that right hash mark. As I said multiple times, he can hit them. He's done it before. Of course, don't have to worry about any wind or anything like that. Woke up to a cold morning here in East Texas. It was 84 yesterday. Carl was in shorts. Woke up at 4 this morning, and we were under a winter weather advisory with freezing rain. There was ice all over the roof, all over the cars. Pretty crazy weather, man.
Oh, wow, yeah. We had 25-mile-an-hour winds last night in San Antonio, and it dropped down to I didn't see what the temperature was today, but it was cold throughout the morning, and haven't been outside since. But, yeah, it hit all overnight, and it might stick around for a few days. So make sure you pull out some of those winter clothes you didn't have to use in December.
Here we go, 53 yards by Prater. The snap, the hold, this one on its way, and it's good. 53, he could have went from another 10 out easily as he went right down the center. And the Cardinals will take a 6-point advantage into halftime over the Cowboys, 13-7. Carl, guess we'll step aside and take a little extended break at halftime, and then about 2 minutes or so before we get things going, we'll come back on and talk a little bit about this half. So stay with us. You'll just hear some music in the background. You'll see a blank scoreboard. Halftime in Dallas, Cowboys trailing the Cardinals 13-7. The Cardinals will get it whenever they come back in the third. Stay with us. All right, friends, let's get back after it here on the Dallas Cowboys. Game analysis and discussion. I'm Rob Hipp. Now bringing on my good buddy, as always, Mr. Carl Schoening back in the house. Cowboys trailing the Cardinals in AT&T Stadium, 13-7. Carl, tough one in that first half. Penalties ridden for both teams. I expect the Cowboys to come out, though. Of course, they're going to have a defensive stand, but I think they're going to have a much better second half. I mean, they got to. Otherwise, they're not going to win this game, man.
Yeah, they had several opportunities to at least come away with scores, and missed field goal on the second drive. Just penalties costing them positive yards that they weren't getting the explosive plays on, really. And, it was good that they took advantage of the 2 pass interference and defensive holding call to get that 1 touchdown. Otherwise, it would be really sort of maybe dramatic in the locker room, if you will. Probably feeling a lot better now, I would say, about the chances for Dallas, because they got that score out of the way, and maybe they're going to make some halftime adjustments to really start opening up their offense. But other than that, I didn't think that they played poorly. It just sort of came down to their defense was great as usual, and in the second half, or hopefully in the second half, Dallas can start to find their rhythm and lock up that second overall seed.
Yeah, man. Should be a good one here. Again, Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening. Want to welcome everybody in. Thanks for joining us as we've been experimenting, kind of trying out our new systems here and everything, Carl. And it's been fun so far, man.
Is this a speaker
13-7.
Okay, you're just going through the camera angles right now?
Yeah, just different things on here,
Cool.
We're just having a little bit of fun.
Yeah,
so hey, everybody joining us, let us know you're out there. I know you are, because we've seen quite a few viewers. There's a lot of people out there that won't ever comment. But if you're out there, send us a message on social media, whether you're on the Facebook restream or you're on the YouTube restream. Let us know you're out there. Who you cheering on? Who do you have in this game? What's the final score going to be? Carl and I have put together a $10,000 prize for those who guess the score exactly right. The $10,000 prize is minus $10,000, so it's actually nothing.
Yeah.
Please let us know you're out there.
I was about to say, the one thing we've learned in radio probably is that you can't ask for interaction and get it all the time, but if you give away something for free, you're going to increase people's chances of calling in or, making a message or something like that, because we give away some great prizes at San Antonio Sports Star for concerts and fun stuff, and they always call in, but never when we ask them to call about their Cowboys take. So, I think sometimes people just really appreciate listening, and we appreciate you listening as well, even if you don't reach out to us.
162 total yards for the Cowboys in that first half, over 200 for Arizona. And we are moments away from kickoff getting underway here in the third quarter. Again, I'm Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening in the house. Thanks for joining us. Zerline will kick this one away, as this one will sail end over end and back into the back of the end zone of the Cowboys. Arizona will have it to start things here in the third quarter, again leading 13-7. Hope our scoreboard operator's back. Nathan may be taking a break too, man.
Yeah, it's all good if he's not, but that's kind of the fun thing about today's experiment is we have a third member of the broadcast in Georgetown, just kind of, really focusing in on what's happening on the scoreboard and helping us relay it here to the live stream. And it's been a fun experiment so far today, Rob. I appreciate you working with me on this. We have some interesting things to talk about SHN a little later.
Here's Arizona's Murphy will throw it at the ground. Boy, yeah, that's intentional grounding, and that's going to set him back. So, hey, why don't we just start the penalty parade? Everybody gather around, and let's all put together some penalties here in the second half. How about it?
Yeah, right. The penalties were kind of the big story of what held back both teams in the first half. And it will be intentional grounding going back that, will start. We were talking about that last possession of the first half that resulted in a field goal being an extra possession because they scored in a minute 25. But, this is the first possession of the second half. So hopefully you have a little bit of a game plan drawn up from halftime. And obviously those penalties can be backbreakers to your game plan.
Here's a fact. Arizona Cardinals 9-0 record when they've led at the half this season. They're leading right now 13-7. As they'll go first down and 15 from the 20-yard line. Murray, handoff here to Edmonds, and Edmonds only gets about a yard. on the left side. So bring up second down and long.
Yeah, they'll just keep pulling the slot on the potential explosive play that is Chase Edmonds. But so far, the Cowboys have done a good job bottling up anything between the trenches. They've really had a lot of success working him as a receiver, though. And let's see if the Cardinals go back to that, even though he's in the backfield. But now he'll clear out.
Bring up second down and 14. Almost 1 minute gone here in the third. Cardinals leading 13-7. Down to 10 on the clock. Murray with 5 wide here. Trips up to the right. He'll take the shotgun snap around the 13. Pump fakes once. Throws over center. Has his man across the 25 down to the 26-yard line. Still well short of the first down. And that pass down there, trying to see who that was to. I believe it was to Kirk.
Yeah, and it looks like they're trying to tempo the Cowboys here on top of that, and they move Edmonds a little bit tighter in this time, and he's just playing sort of a wing position in a way, but you can still make a catch out of that area of the field.
4 down here to the left, nobody up top, 3rd and 9 from around the 24. Here's a pass. Of course, Edmonds has it, and of course, he's got the first down as he wiggles through one defender and lunges his way up near the 40-yard line. Boy, Edmonds, how about that for 11 yards? And he's got a first down for the Cardinals.
I told you, Rob, they're trying to find creative ways to get Edmonds involved, and they use him as a blocker this time, and he's able to shed a quick block and work his way outside as he created a lot of space on the jam and then a lot of space for the first down, and they're really working to get Edmonds involved, and they keep pulling that slot. Like I said, it paid off right there.
Well, they go again to Edmonds here on a handoff, and this time he's dropped for about a loss of 3 on the play. Good job by Dallas Micah Parsons. As you talk about how quick he is, the rookie making the tackle there for the Cowboys.
Yeah, quickness being key right there. As the Cardinals realize they're having trouble running Edmonds between the tackles, so they just try to move the tackles. The entire offensive line moved as a unit to try and help block for Edmonds there, but Micah Parsons was able to find a quick hole, and he's just quicker than a quick play like that.
Bring up second down and 13. Backed up to the 34-yard line. Murray looking to pass here. Goes over center. Kirk is down there. He's got the grab at the 30, and he's finally brought down around the 26-yard line. Man, what a pass out there to Kirk. He has been the hot man here. 4 receptions, 57 yards. He's the second leading receiver behind Anthony Green here for this Cardinals offense.
What a pass and catch, as those two knew exactly where they needed to be. That's just good chemistry between quarterback and receiver. Kirk makes the explosive play on a 2nd and 13 gamble.
So first down and 10, already well in field goal range now. The Cardinals coming out of the gates here in the second half, leading 13-7, 11:38 to go. Murray takes the shotgun snap between the marks at the 30. Throws this one, and Edmonds is drilled. Oh, baby, Parsons said, I may be new in the NFL, but hey, what's up, buddy? Knocked him down. Huge hit down there on Edmonds.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is all over the field, and this time they have him man-to-man with Edmonds, and that's a really good matchup for Parsons because he's probably the best athlete on the field anyway, and Kyler Murray's a great athlete, but Micah Parsons, he just has sort of a sideline-to-sideline, 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, deep coverage zone that if they try to play to him, they're not going to like the result.
It's his 4th tackle. He put the not for long in the NFL. Brings up second down and 16. Empty backfield pass. This one is caught here across the 25 on the left side. And it was Kirk again. So Kirk now just 1 yard. Actually, he takes the lead spot now with 63 yards on 5 receptions so far this afternoon for the Cardinals. It's third down.
Cliff Kingsbury, just a mastermind, reads a quick screen out to the left side. That's exactly the kind of offense that we were talking about in that pregame conversation. Very NCAA-like with just quick passes. It's basically an extension of your run game. You just create 2-block situation over there, and didn't quite work out.
Murray has it. Flag flies. Cowboys may have came across. Murray spins his way forward. A gain of about 2 on the play. And I think that Gregory may have crossed that neutral zone. Luckily on a 3rd and 12. Yeah, that's the play. It's offsides on Lawrence. He's Got that big body, Carl. He took off there on the right side and just couldn't stop. He knew it, too.
Yeah, you usually do know it when you jump off sides because everybody's not trying to block you. And in that particular case, that's not a backbreaker, but you certainly were hoping for that 3rd and long after shutting down exactly what the Cardinals wanted to do on the previous play. So, now it opens up a little bit more opportunity for Kyler Murray. They've moved Edmonds into the backfield. They haven't had much success with him in the backfield so far this afternoon.
3rd and 7, Antoine Wesley out there to the left side. The throw goes to Wesley. He'll leap up and catch it for the touchdown. Oh my goodness. What a play.
That was a great play. Obviously, we're talking about Edmonds. He sort of gets used as a decoy and runs his own route, and that sort of creates the one-on-one situation for Wesley in the end zone.
Boy, just had the matchup leapt up into the air. Made it look easy, really easy on the play. So he leapt up. It was a hard, made it look easy. The replay was a pretty hard grab. Brown, though, was nowhere in the vicinity. He was right there, but Brown just can't go up against Wesley like that, man. That's just a good catch.
Yeah, that's tough to take after the offside call, but that probably would have been a similar play run anyhow, and now they move into the red zone, or they're going for the 2-point conversion, I should say.
Yeah, going for 2 here.
We'll see if
they get a 2-touchdown game.
See what they get out of it.
They're 0 for 2 this season. Murray trying to make his first 2-point conversion. Throws this one incomplete. He was chased, and they'll go 0 for 3 on 2-point conversions this season. He was trying to go in the direction of Ertz, and it was nowhere close. And Coach Kingsbury not happy. Nonetheless, though, a big grab for the touchdown, and Arizona takes a 19-7 advantage here in the second half, third quarter, 9:39 to go. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Stay with us. All right, friends, back at it. Rob Hibb, Carl Schoening, probably the only Carl Schoening in the world. Have you ever Googled your name, Carl?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I was always kind of a big kid. I played offensive line in middle school, and it turns out that another Carl Schoening was an even better offensive lineman than me. But he was just a really big guy. I don't think he ever really did anything. But he was mentioned in a couple articles as somebody who played high school football and was like 6'5", 300 pounds, Carl Schoening, offensive tackle. I think that's really about it. Yeah, Carl with the K. Yeah, Carl with the K.
So there is another Carl Schoening. Wow.
And there's a business that I don't think exists anymore that I used to see when I Googled, and it's Carl Schoening and Son. And I have since taken over the Google page. You might still get Carl Schoening and Sons and think that I have another side business. It's not me.
Oh, man. Nathan brought up a good point. I was messing around with the scoreboard here, and I didn't put the clock on. Nathan, I'll get it back on, buddy. Nathan is always on top, man. I appreciate all that he does for us, man.
Oh, yeah, Nathan's great, and I appreciate him being very astute as to what happens on the broadcasts. It's a very good blessing to have him in our lives, and he has a good ear and eye, and I think he gives you the honest answer. We were talking about this new mic I'm testing out straight from computer we're testing out, and I never give laptop mics anything better than a C+ anyway. So next time we do this, I'll have to have the USB connection, but it doesn't have a USB-A port. That's kind of annoying, isn't it?
Huh, yeah.
It's how it goes. Got to get a hub.
Kickoff Prater on the way here. Cowboys. This one is returnable at the 3 on the far side from left to right. Crossing the 20, dives down to the 22-yard line. Clement on the return there. And Clement Give him 20-yard return up to the Dallas 22. So the Cowboys have got to find some offense here. It is their first possession of this second half. Cardinals, they took a lot of time off the clock to open up things, man. We're looking, I can't do math that fast in my head, but almost 5.5 minutes on that opening drive. Here's Ezekiel Elliott in there as the running back. One receiver to either side. Prescott under center here from his own 21. Fakes the handoff to Elliott, looking to pass. He loses the ball, bounces right back into his hands, and the shovel pass, and another fumble, and the Cowboys fall onto it. My goodness. Anybody hungry for some sloppy joes? Because Mama's in the kitchen and she's cooking them.
Oh, my goodness. That might have been the most animated I've been able to play all day because they just played with fire and didn't get burned. Prescott gets almost strip sacked, but he stays upright, catches it, and then he throws it away to try and get out of another tackle. And, oh, my goodness. Schultz didn't think that he would do that. He was ready to block for him and saw he was getting tackled. And, oh, man, just able to keep possession of that is – a win scenario for the Cowboys.
After all of that, Carl, it was ruled an incomplete pass to Schultz. After all of that.
Oh, I guess he was behind the line of scrimmage. Shovel pass going forward. That makes sense.
Yeah, so Prescott faked the handoff to Elliott. He got hit from behind by Jones. The ball bounced right back to Prescott, and then he shovel passed it over to Schultz. And in Schultz, they say that he didn't make the grab. It was
that's probably the right call. Good for the officials.
Here's Prescott, left side, up way too high. Boy, Cooper has a ladder, but not that high. I mean, you got to go 20 feet in the air to grab that one. It's incomplete.
Despite the penalties being kind of the story here, the officials are not the story. I think they've been doing a really good job officiating this game. I'd like to say that because anytime they showed a replay on their calls, it was kind of correct. They might have one or two missed calls, but nothing really major, and it still played a major impact in discipline of these two teams.
We'll get back after it. 3rd and 10. Cowboys trying to convert here. So far on 3rd down, only 2 of 6 this afternoon. Prescott down to 3 on the clock. One back to either side. 2 receivers down to the left. Prescott moves through the pocket on the left side. 30. Prescott first down. Oh, baby, what a run by Dak Daddy to get the first down for the Cowboys. And there's a flag, Carl. Why not? How about a flag? Oh, man, holding on the offense. Another big play by the Cowboys and a penalty against Dallas.
Yeah, let's see if we can get the Connor Williams replay here on our broadcast. And yeah, that seems to be the thing. Sometimes you say that the holding is the only reason there was an explosive run, and yeah, Williams holds up Hicks just a little bit, and it's flagged by the officials, so that's what it goes down in the record books.
8 penalties, 68 yards. The Sloppy Joes are on the stove. Here comes Dak Prescott in his own end zone now, looking to pass. Throws this one incomplete. Schultz on the right side. And the Cowboys forced to punt away on their first possession of the second half. We said that stat earlier, Carl. Cardinals, when they've led at the half, 9-0 this season. And they are currently leading 19-7 here with 8:53 to go in the third. Doesn't look like the...
Sorry about that. Something just fell on my side, but everything's okay.
Hope you're okay back there, Carl.
Oh, yeah, it was something on the back. It's all good. I'll see how that was being held up. I don't know how it was being held up, and it fell off my desk. So sorry about that, y'all.
Hanger punts 45 yards to the Arizona 43. And I said I haven't really watched a whole lot of professional football this season just because of my broadcast schedule with college. But I got to tell you, Carl, it just seems like the Cowboys have been inconsistent at times. I do go back and watch a little Sports Center, and they'll have a really good game, and then they'll have a game where they're just in a slump. Even in those limited losses, Cowboys have had a good season, 11-4, but just in those losses, they just haven't been consistent that we've seen this season.
The truth about football is, and I'm sure you know this watching Sam Houston State win all the time, sometimes there's such a thing as winning ugly. And as much as it sucks, that's really just football. It almost doesn't matter what you actually consistently play like. Are you consistently winning? And the Cowboys consistently find a way to win, but so do the Cardinals, and that's why this was such a anticipated matchup midway through the season when both teams started, I think, 6-1, and you just kind of wanted to know, would these two teams eventually run into each other in the NFC playoffs? And they do get to see each other in like a prequel to that in the second to last week before the playoffs. So this is really a big game and a measuring stick, and in a way to get the leg up on the number 2 overall seed in the NFC. So I do imagine that this will probably be a big victory for the Cardinals, because they just got to beat the Seahawks to hold on to that number 2 overall seed at that point. And that'll make the Eagles-Cowboys game much more important to the Cowboys than the Eagles probably here as they come up on the final week of the season, should this score hold.
No, it's not going to get it done on the rushing side. 10 attempts, only 25 yards for the Cowboys on the ground. Prescott, 138 through the air. And so, you're not having a rushing game. The Cardinals have been able to effectively put the brakes on the Dallas Cowboys rushing game so far.
Yeah, and really, I almost wonder if that's by design. Kellen Moore's really been utilizing his running backs, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, as basically receiving backs. And that's really where they've kind of made their damage. But in the end here, Dallas has kind of looked good on some possessions, but shot themselves in the foot on others, missing that field goal. And, just having a couple possessions kind of stall out on them, partly because of off-schedule downs forcing them to continue to be off schedule. This is still plenty of time left in this ball game. I mean, we're just kind of at the halfway point of the third quarter, but that Dallas feels the pressure to score quickly because they haven't scored that much all day. Only score came on that drive that had 2 pass interferences and a defensive holding.
So here we go for the Cardinals, 1st and 10 from their own 41. Pass over to the left side, and Christian Kirk has a prayer over to the left side. Joseph knocks him out of bounds, and it's a short pass to Kirk. Well, it's not very short, actually. It's 16 yards.
Well, that's what I was talking about. It's an extension of their run game where they create that one-on-one opportunity on the outside for Kirk, and if he finds that space just beating one guy, it creates an explosive play opportunity, as you see there. But they try to do that fairly often, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That was a win on that play.
Here's Murray, 1st and 10 in Cowboys territory. He'll keep it to the left side as he's dangling that ball dangerously on his left hand, and he's finally pushed out of bounds. And it is I don't know if it was a short gain there. I was trying to see. It may have lost a yard or so. Nope, they're going to give him 2, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, bottled up there by Kersey, and I think that really Murray has that ability to create outside, but you really don't want him to utilize it too often. And, sometimes if you ask him to be careful, he will, and instead of sacrificing his body to pick up a couple more yards, just does the smart thing and takes a little push out of bounds.
2nd and 8 from Murray. He'll drop it off over to Ertz, and Ertz trying to put the hurts on the Cowboys as he goes across the 31. It's a 1st down for the Cardinals.
Ertz has been pretty sure-handed today as I think he's caught most of his targets. I can't really remember him dropping a pass so far today, and so far that's been a good target for Kyler Murray, and they don't quite give him the 1st down, but he at least gets close. He hasn't really had a big explosive play yet, and that's going to be a key thing for the Cowboys defense to continue.
Yeah, they marked him 1 yard short, actually. 3rd and 1. Cowboys showing blitz up front with 5, now 6 up in a box. Murray will step back, rolls to the right. He's got the 1st down, chased out of bounds at the 25-yard line on the right side.
Yeah,
it's going to be a dagger here for the Cowboys, man.
It kind of feels like that the way they're playing. Short yardage situation, they just go straight distracting to Edmonds because they know that they've been bottling him up and only need 1 yard from Murray. He gets a few more as he escapes out of bounds, pretty much unharmed except for a slight glove tap. And that glove tap really wasn't even all that much. And another 1st down for the Cardinals. If they do score on this, it would feel like a nail in the coffin.
6:34 to go in the 3rd. Cowboys trailing 19-7. Cardinals threatening, though, as they've got it on the 25-yard line. Down to 1. They're going to have to burn a timeout here. So Coach Kingsbury calls the timeout. And we'll keep it right here, Carl. Cowboys defense looking for a stop.
Yeah, they need a turnover in the worst way, and that's something that this defense has been getting a lot of this season, but so far you don't see that, trademark at this point. Trayvon Diggs interception, there isn't really a strip by anybody on that really good defensive front line for the Cowboys. You'd have to really give a lot of credit to the Cardinals' just sort of ability to maintain possession in this ball game. Remember, they're trying to bounce back from losing 3 straight today. They don't want to lose 4 in a row, bouncing and lipping into the playoffs. So this is a big game for them, and they've come out and executed like that. Their penalties are still in this game, but they've been a lot less timely and still been able to capitalize on some of the missed opportunities thanks to penalties.
So we'll get back here. Murray to the right side, and he'll cross near the 10-yard line.
What do I know? I say that he's not, being used as a running quarterback as much as they want. They decide they're going to run 3 straight plays where he has an opportunity to take off and run, and he picks up the most yards on the third one. Pretty much a design quarterback draw. He probably has one quick read, and then he sees that it's wide open on the right, and you have to just be impressed with his ability to create with his legs, because he really can cut quickly and change direction and also know how to slide and protect his body. That's something that you learned as a veteran in this league.
Well, I guess Facebook didn't like us streaming this, Carl. They've restricted my account, even though it's you and me talking. So we'll have to figure that one out, as the Cardinals will gut this one up the middle, inching ever closer to the end zone, leading 19-7. Yeah, I have no idea. It's you and me talking. I may appeal that one. Everything that we're using is images that are, open source or images that we've paid for. So I don't know, Carl. I'm going to submit an appeal on that one and ask them why.
Yeah, well, it's worth the answer. I do appreciate that there probably is somebody who, understands, in a way we might be doing something a little more play-by-play than, people sort of at the higher levels might accept or reject. So, we'll see what happens. That's an interesting appeal to hear about. But are we still on YouTube?
Yeah, still going on YouTube. That's why we wanted to test this. I mean,
we've been doing this for like 3 hours here for a reason. This is an ongoing test. We appreciate Nathan's careful eye, because we are doing a long streaming thing, and we both wanted to watch the Cowboys game, and probably did turn into a little bit more play-by-play than casual, but it's all good. If that's why we figured this out. And so far, the actual technical side of us being able to sync up where we are in the game and send certain things such as these remote broadcasts for where we are, that's kind of cool. So all right, cool. Good to know.
Here's 3rd and 5. It was almost intercepted, Carl.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that, checking out to see if there was anything on our software that we're using. But watching the replay here, I guess Anthony Brown almost come up with an interception. So, yeah, Parsons again getting the push through the offensive line and making that throw a little bit more rushed and almost picked off. Wow. They're going for it on 4th, though. Wow.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here. Arizona, they're going to call a timeout.
Yeah, Cowboys got that timeout in. They weren't really expecting them to go for it on 4th, and that's a great burning of a timeout. And McCarthy's kind of heated about something. Anyway, this is a big drive, so that's a good timeout to burn right there, even though it's a 3rd quarter timeout. They didn't have the personnel out there, it looks like.
Interesting, though, that our stream is still on the SHN Sports Facebook. It just says that I personally can't go live for 24 hours.
Oh, are you broadcasting off your own personal profile page?
Oh, yeah, on three different sources.
And you're also we're also on SHN Facebook, huh?
Yeah.
Things like this make me want to delete Facebook, honestly. Like they are very noticing of everything and want to, put up an appeal. So if it is sort of a copyright thing, it'll be interesting.
26-yard field goal's good. I mean, you can talk about a game. That's what we're doing. We're talking about a game.
Yeah, that's the thing is we'll see what they decide about, their review. They do get to create the laws. But noted, because I think that we do have a software I'd like to test out next time as well, if you don't mind, and run it on another platform and see what happens with 3 hours on that platform, because we'll probably not phase out Facebook, but Facebook's going to be so much its own thing when it becomes meta. Like they're changing what meta is going to be, and Facebook will kind of exist in its own way, but I kind of think that they're going to really change how their platform runs, and I think things like this could be part of it, because they might have their own meta broadcast going on, So
yeah,
I think that there's some interesting things that we need to pay attention to here in the evolving social media world. And I think it might be because SHN is a media company, so they allow it. Nathan, it is interesting. We aren't selling any ads. We're not getting paid for this by anybody or any sponsors.
It actually cost me money, because when I went to print up my notes, there was someone different at Office Depot. Normally it's like $10. They hit me for a $62 bill for all the printing that I did.
Oh my!
So
see, I don't print anymore. I
didn't appeal that though, Carl.
Yeah, but go ahead and check that out. But I do appreciate what you've set up here, because it's a lot more sophisticated than I understand, and it's really something we're testing for remote broadcasting in general. And so far, I appreciate your legwork on figuring out how this would work, because this is something that we kind of want to offer to the general public. So this is all just kind of one big test. Who knows how often we'll actually go live, but it is interesting to hear that we're still live on Facebook, but not your account. So, okay, noted.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because I'm looking right now, and there's several other, I just typed in Cowboys Live. There's actually tons of streams that are showing the game that aren't banned. We're not showing the game. It's just you and me talking. And those other streams have 160, 200. One of them has 380 people watching.
Really?
So, Facebook, if you're watching us, please go back and review this. We're not doing anything. Thank you.
No, I don't know if are we still streaming to Facebook? Like, I guess we are on SHN, but like, would you still be delivering an encoder to your personal page on this software?
Yeah, I guess so, because it goes through Restream. Yeah, we'll get back out of here. 22-7 is where the score is. Third quarter, 4:01 to go. Prater will kick this one off for the Cowboys. Another one goes into the end zone. We've seen a bunch of those just boomed into the end zone. Pretty easy to do in a dome. And that's where we'll rock and roll with Dallas. They got to try to get back into this one, Carl.
Yeah, this is pretty much a must-score drive. Obviously, there's still a lot of time left, and a fourth-quarter comeback isn't out of the realm of possibility the way the Cowboys can, score and defend. But it feels like the pressure's sort of mounting, because you don't want to give up another score to the Cardinals as the offense here for Dallas.
It's 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. Handoff will go to Zeke on a misdirection from the right back to the left, and he got pummeled at the original line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, and that's probably been something that both teams have had in common, where the traditional run game is being defended really well by both teams. So you got to get a little more creative than just a give between the tackles. And in this particular case, Zeke can't quite lower his shoulder for anything more than a yard.
Yeah, they did give him one. Here's Prescott. This one bobbled and dropped on the right side. As believe that was
Zeke again, because
Simi Fehoko. Yeah, Fehoko couldn't hold on to it. Or
no,
was that was Zeke.
That's Zeke. Yeah, like I was saying, they were trying
Zeke Elliott.
The tackles isn't really working, so try and get him in a creative way. So they go right back to him, but this time a pass outside, and Zeke just couldn't make the grab. And if he could, this would be much more manageable third down. Instead, it's 3rd and 9.
It's 3rd and 9 for Prescott. They've got to convert here. Trailing 22-7, 3:27 to go in the third. Prescott looking in the direction of Cooper over center. It's well incomplete. My goodness, that was about 2 yards in front of his feet. Fourth down punt coming up.
Yep, and thus ends the pressure drive because, in this particular case, they aren't able to get completions. So one time it was a little bit on Zeke and maybe a little on Dak for an early throw. This time it's deflected at the defensive line, and it'll be a punt situation.
A punt coming up here by the Cowboys from the 15, high up into the air, and this one is fair caught around the 22. So it'll be up to the defense in this one to see if they can get a stop, and then the offense have got to find a way to get things rocking and rolling. Step aside, we'll take a little break. We'll be back in a moment as we've got more game coming up. Make sure to keep it here and also watch the game. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman calling a good one. We'll be back in a moment. All right, friends, we'll get back after it here. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. As Dallas trailing the Cardinals right now 22-7. This Cardinals offense has been really good. 9-0 this season when they have led at the half. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening in the house. Thanks for joining us.
Hey. We started this stream
watching.
when it was light outside, and now it's dark outside, so I had to figure out how to turn on this lamp.
And no, we are not showing the game. Cardinals here, 1st and 10. On the 23, stepping back, drops this one incomplete. Good defense by the Cowboys up front. You got to start with something. And it'll stop right there. Trying to go to Edmonds, and that one incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, I think that they've really keyed on the fact that they're trying to get the ball to Edmonds. So Dallas defense has kind of shut him down here in this second half. But, obviously you take away something, and that means that there's going to be something else that opens up. So it's up to Murray to figure out what that's going to be, although that particular case, just a little overthrown.
Go on 2nd down and 10. Murray will stand in the gun, trips right. Handoff up the middle. Jonathan Ward across the line of scrimmage for a short gain of 1. 3rd down and 9. So here we go on a critical 3rd down for this Cowboys defense. We'll see if they can stop them. Defense got to lead the offense. Murray has Ward to his left. Trips right, one down to the left. Murray stepping back. Good protection. It broke down. And Murray is sacked. How about that? So he got slammed back there by Armstrong saying, get out of my house, baby. And that's what I was talking about, Carl. Got to have the defense. Now it's going to be the offense.
And that's a big 3-and-out force by Dallas defense right there. And nothing gives you momentum like closing out a 3rd and 9 with a big sack like that on Murray. And they basically pushed him all the way back behind the 10 because of that kind of pressure between Armstrong. And, man, that's a great way to force a punt. Flags coming, though, here on 4th and 23.
Why not, man?
We've seen a lot of flags today. They've almost been right,
the
though.
Offense. Well, that'll move it half the distance of the goal. So the Cowboys, Lee can boom them, though. And so the Cowboys, I would expect, should get good field position here. With just under 2 minutes to go here in the third. Yeah, Lamb is back at the 50. Here's the punt on its way. Lamb will have it in Cardinal territory. 45-40. Still on his feet, and he's finally doused at the 32. How about that for the field position? A little scuffle after the play.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb as a returner has gotten a little bit of scrutiny. This time he makes those people saying no to kind of shut their mouth as he gets the big gain. And then, right after the play, just a little extracurricular. It's a tough sport, and somebody gets a hit that they might take offense to. That happens all the time. But back to the topic of matter, Dallas, they're going to go ahead and have a good field position to start on this drive, a must-score drive here at the end of the third.
Threw a little punch in between the face mask there, a little hand patter. Let him go, though. 1st and 10, Cowboys. 22-7 trailing, 1:41 to go third. Prescott under the center, fake the handoff, pass over. Pollard, first down, left side out of bounds. Carl, you notice I'm not being as descriptive. Just to, I'm leaving out keywords now.
Yeah, right. That's probably the interesting thing. I wonder if Facebook will get at that we replicated a radio broadcast a little too appropriately, because we are professionals and it's hard to turn it off. But yeah, this is how we watch football games. We just kind of watch every single play. And this time Dak gets taken down, and man, it would be terrible if the Cowboys squander this opportunity and have to settle for a long field goal attempt.
Was a bad snap to Prescott, and luckily hopped right back onto it. All right, we'll get it here, 2nd and 13 after the loss of 3. Cowboys threatening the red zone. Snap back, Prescott. Over center and just, oh, man. Pollard wasn't even ready for it. Went off his side of his shoulder pad.
Yeah, maybe the throw a little behind him. Let's check out the replay. Again, utilizing Pollard or Zeke in the backfield as a extra receiver. In this particular case, Prescott just delivers.
Hit him right between the numbers.
Yeah, he hits him right between the numbers. I mean, he did have to kind of drop step a little, but Pollard has to catch that. That's obviously a big play there for Pollard to miss on.
3rd and 13. Prescott gun. Down to 4. Prescott looking. Protection breaks down. Pump fakes. Runs. Short of the first at the 10 or 11. Good run by Prescott. They should go for it here on 4th.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably what Mike McCarthy's thinking. You don't want to get 3 points here, and no offense to Zerline, but you don't trust your kicker all the time. This is a big 4th and 1 that the Cowboys are going to have to want to execute on if they want to win this game.
Here we go, 4th and 1.
They're not going to take a play.
I think they're just trying to draw them offside. They're going to let the clock run down and go to the 4th quarter. I would try to get a playoff here, and they won't.
One day somebody's going to catch a defense napping because one player knows that they're going to run out the clock and they don't run out the clock, but that's not today.
All right, 22-7, final frame coming up. Carl Robb here. So we've kind of relaxed a little bit more. Carl, see, I kind of quit. I was like this, and now I'm just kind of like this, Carl. You know.
We really are pretty good. I'm not going to lie, but I think that maybe in the future we should mix it up, talk a few more things. Like right now, just kind of drop in what happens. Like what's going on with Sam Houston State athletics during this transition into the from the WAC to Conference USA. Is that next year or the year after?
It's coming up, man. Carl, I'm relaxed now. I'm afraid to talk. I'm just kidding.
You'll be okay.
No, good things are happening, man. Sam Houston's moving over to FBS soon. It's going to be about a 2-year transition. There's still a lot of things I don't know, even things from the athletic department that I'm not sure of either right now, that they're not sure of, to be honest. So still a lot of moving parts in that, but I think it's great for the university. I've heard some rumors that Sam Houston may grow to 30 to 35,000 students over the next 10 years. They already have more enrollment than Baylor, which is just crazy to think about here in East Texas. 22,000 kids, Baylor at around 20,000. So a lot of great things happening. Basketball's really going to benefit from playing some good teams. Football, it's going to be a little bit harder. It's going to take a while for the transition. There's kids now that are, they're saying, hey, what are we playing for? Because you're in the middle. You can't play for championships right now.
That's the funny thing.
That's the tough thing.
Yeah, I went through the transition with Texas State when they went from the Southland to the WAC, back when the WAC was an FBS program or conference. And then the WAC, that was the last year, the WAC, the first year that Texas State was in it. So that was the WAC as it was. It was sort of brought back to where they wanted to become a football playing conference again. And I think that it was a great decision to pick up Sam Houston with the hopes of eventually taking that into an FBS level. But with that, SEC realignment with Texas and Oklahoma going into the SEC, that really just changes everything. So once that domino falls, I believe that is when Conference USA can have their realignments, because they lost the I think six teams in that conference. Conference USA is migrating over to the American Athletic because the American Athletic sort of got picked off. So it's going to be a different Conference USA, but I think Sam will be able to compete in that new Conference USA. And I think they'll be able to eventually compete in the FBS level pretty quickly because they're just on top of everything. That was the right move for the WAC to try and get them, and they're getting to the FBS even faster without the WAC.
Well, good talks, and on 4th and 1, Dak lunges forward for the first down.
That's a
nice
big
little fake
first.
there.
That's a big pickup on 4th down, and this is a must-score drive. I'm telling you, this is what they need to win.
1st and goal, inside the 10. Got it spotted, it looks like around the 7. Prescott faked the handoff, play action, throws over left, and complete to Schultz. Jones brought the pressure up front, 2nd and goal. Still a lot of time left. Cowboys got their timeouts.
Yeah, Jones makes that a harder pass than Prescott would have wanted, and just out of the reach of Schultz. He had to really extend and couldn't come in with a one-handed grab. I know those are popular, but they're not necessarily easy, and brings up 2nd and goal, I guess.
3 receivers out there. Prescott throws left side, caught. Cooper 2 yards short on the left side. Forced out of bounds by Peterson of the Cardinals. Getting close, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think that this is probably a 4-down territory situation again for McCarthy. No way you go for it on 4th down, but it would have been an easy field goal. And now that it's, inside the 2, they have 2 opportunities to find the end zone, I think.
Now here's the first of those 2 opportunities on 3rd and goal. Zeke is out there, 1 receiver to either side. Prescott, blitz coming. Throws over center, touchdown. Wide open. Easy bake oven to Cedric Wilson. And the Cowboys needed a touchdown, Carl. They got it.
Yeah, and, we talked about Cedric Wilson earlier in the game when he had back-to-back catches, and in this particular case, the defense kind of lulls on him again. He finds a lot of space in the end zone and is able to collect 6 for Dallas.
So Dallas is going to go for 2. Trying to cut it down to 7. They're 5 for 9 this season on 2-point conversions. Got to hurry, though, down to 1 on the clock. Prescott got to call for it. He doesn't, and does not get it off, Carl. And a delay of game. Now what do you do?
Zerline, this is obviously a mathematical thing. I know McCarthy sometimes probably throws out the math and goes with his gut, but I'm pretty sure usually you want to take the higher percentage 2-point conversion, and now they're going to send out the field goal unit because you'd rather take a 1-point almost sure thing as opposed to a much riskier 2-point conversion now.
Yeah, Zerline has missed quite a few extra points. He's not the historical Cowboys-type kicker that we have seen over the years when you talk about guys like Dan Bailey and others. Zerline here, though. This one from well over 30 out. Here's the hold, the extra point kick. Oh, it's good. Boy, it hugged that right post and went through. And that would have been a huge miss because it would have kept it at a 2-possession game. Now it's only a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away, Carl.
Yeah, that's a moment where your heart kind of sinks for half a second because that could have easily hit the upright, and sigh of relief around Cowboys Nation. And that missed field goal by him earlier might not be that big of a deal. If his kicking comes in clutch, that could be the difference in this game if they get to it.
All right, we'll step aside. We'll be back in a moment. We'll take a little break. Pour up a nice frosty cold water. I tricked you. We'll be back in a minute. Stay with us. Bringing it back here, Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening in the house. And again, the NFL all week has been honoring the life of the legend, John Madden. I mean, I got to tell you, Carl, growing up and listening to Madden and Pat Summerall, those were the guys for me. I know there's many, many other ones. Kevin Harlan is still the broadcaster that I really look up to the most because of his energy, but when you think of the National Football League, you think John Madden. I bet if you could go up to anybody and say, when you think of football and broadcasting and the NFL, name 5 people that come to mind. Madden's always going to be in that mix.
Yeah, and really, I think if you ask anybody, what do you think is the kind of face of the NFL? It's probably Tom Brady at this point, but Madden really did leave his mark to where you could argue he is the face of the NFL. And, it's a tough loss for a lot of people who, really loved him and were introduced to the game by him.
Zerline kicked one that rolled into the end zone. So there's 13:49 to go. Arizona holding on to the 8-point advantage over the Cowboys, 22-14. That last drive for Dallas. Well, Carl, you know what? Before you start saying things, you look. And they took off quite a bit of time on the clock, Carl. 22-14. We'll see what the Cardinals can do here.
Well, it's still plenty of time left in this game, almost to the point where if the Cardinals score again, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas still made this interesting late. But obviously, it'd be more ideal for Dallas if they can pitch a shutout the rest of the way.
Murray right side, caught, tight roping. Is that a first down? Yes, it is. Boy, A.J. Green hauled that one in on the right side, tight lining it. That is one of the toughest catches in football, and he was able to haul that one in.
Yeah, Green's made several big plays today, and once again, Kyler Murray just sort of extends the play and doesn't take any damage, doesn't really threat running upfield. He just makes the right throw, and Green with a great catch, stay in bounds.
Murray handoff here will go over to Benjamin, the running back. Got a different running back in there now. Eno Benjamin getting a little play action. He's the fourth on the depth chart for the Cardinals. They got their fourth running back in there, and he was able to run it up here for a couple of yards. 2nd and 8. Murray in the gun. Cowboys with 4 up front, showing a little pressure. Murray rolls to the right, flips this one up and just gets rid of it.
Yeah, a smart play just to get rid of it. And, this is really where Dallas needs to execute one last time. And then the pressure goes back onto the offense for the Cowboys to score. But that's just because the defense is doing their job. If, you told the Cowboys that they could hold the Cardinals to under 26 points and only a field goal the rest of the way, the offense would take that and hope that they could score 28.
Third and 8. Murray on third down, 6 of 9, and 4 first downs here this evening. Down to 1 on the clock. Gets the shotgun snap. And he is drilled for only a 1-yard gain as Wilson came up, made a big lick on him. Said, "Welcome to our house."
Yeah, man,
So
that's
defense. Defense did their job here.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a big stop because, Murray has the tendency to be able to create with his legs, but Wilson sniffed him out, and that creates an opportunity for Dallas to maybe tie this up at the end of their next drive.
There's the punt by Lee. This one drilling down. A good punt here. And, boy, the returnman is just slammed down immediately on the play. CeeDee Lamb didn't have anywhere to go. In fact, he lost 2 yards on a 47-yard punt. The Cowboys have their work cut out for them. Trailing by 8. Plenty of time on the clock. This one may come down to the wire, man. I love these games when they get like this, Carl.
Yeah, this is even a situation for Dallas to find a comfortable win somehow because they smoothed the ball pretty well on their last drive. And if they, find some fourth quarter momentum, I was talking about it earlier. Sometimes you can win ugly and, a win is still pretty on the record. So you'd rather win ugly. And in this particular case, that would be not playing so great on offense for the first 3 quarters and then just kind of finding something at the end of the third and maybe coming away with more comfortable than you expected victory here if they can pull it out.
We'll step aside. Let's take a little break, Carl. We'll come back here in a moment. Got some football left. Stay with us. Hey, by the way, if you're still on the streams, got quite a few people still listening in, a few on YouTube as well. Send a comment, man. Let us know. We know you're there. We know that you're hiding. Just say hello. We need a little Christmas present up here tonight. And we'll be back in a moment. Christmas is over, though, Carl, but we still like presents. We'll be back. All right, friends, let's bring it back here as we're back in action. Carl Schoening, the Carl Schoening, not the Carl Schoening and Sons, not the Carl Schoening football player, but the Carl Schoening. You hear him on ESPN San Antonio, Texas. You can hear me in East Texas on 12 watts of booming radio that reaches Huntsville. Carl, good to see you, man.
Hey, Rob. You guys go further out than Huntsville, Sam.
We do. Walker County, man. Great station. Love working there. Here's Prescott. Prescott over center's got a man at the 30, down 35, and almost to the 40. Guess who it is? C.D. Lamb. Pull out the shears, baby. As Cowboys got it up on a nice pass from Prescott. 26 yards to Lamb.
Yeah, and CeeDee Lamb's kind of been underutilized in this game, and he finally gets a target and an opportunity to make a play, and it's an explosive one to get this drive off on the right foot for Dallas.
First down and 10. Cowboys on their own 36, trailing 22-14, 11 minutes to go here in the game. Prescott trying to get Cooper to go in motion. Got to hurry here, down to 4 on the clock. Under center. Handoff, Elliott, and ankle tackle. He didn't go anywhere. Lost a yard by Jones.
Yeah, I was talking about it earlier. Zeke just sort of getting bottled up, and that's really more credit to this Cardinals defense than anything, because that's a good breakthrough and then right on Zeke.
2nd and 11. Prescott. Well, did a little acrobatic leap. Of course, loses the football at the end of the play, and we'll see if they say that's down by contact or if he fumbled it. Line judge says that it's a fumble. Cowboys say that he was down, and the other judge, I believe, says he's down. Let's see on the replay.
Yeah, this is probably a testament to the NFL. Yep.
Let's fumble.
I said this was a well-officiated game. They saw that with their eye, but, I think that overall when the ball hits the turf and it's close, they let the play out in case that gets run in for a touchdown, and they called him down, and obviously he wasn't down, and just a backbreaker. This time, I believe that's the first turnover of the game. Man.
Yeah, it is.
That's a big turnover for the Dallas offense when they kind of needed to score, because they just want to keep this a little bit more of an increasing pressure on the Cardinals. Instead, they come up with a big defensive turnover.
It's a huge one. 44-yard line now. The Cardinals will take it back over, leading 22-14. Murray handoff. Flags fly as Enos Benjamin takes it up for 1 yard. There may have been a face mask down there. And if it is, it's on Dallas.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's another tough penalty to take after just giving up the turnover. And we're talking about the importance of maybe limiting to a field goal the rest of this game. Call that the face mask. That's a tough one. But, call that just the trend of this game. That, Dallas kind of self-inflicted wounds at the penalties, and I imagine the penalties are a pretty big number.
Osa Digizua, the face mask. 10 penalties now, 88 yards. Let's go for 100. How about 12 more? It's a handoff here across the 30, down to around the 27-yard line. Second and long coming up.
Let's do a fantasy update, Rob. Edmonds actually been bottled up. He's had a few explosive plays, but overall, that has not really resulted in what I would assume be too many fantasy points. So I'm going to check that and get back to you.
Yeah, he only had 33 yards, no touchdowns. The long of 14 made up most of those 33. 2nd and 8. Murray looks over to the sideline. There's Murray down to 1, running the clock here. Passes over right side and well incomplete to Ince. So that'll stop the clock. 9:21 to go here in the game, 22-14. Arizona leading, Dallas trailing.
Yeah, it's a situation where, I think that they felt like they had to kind of go for the goal line, and Ertz, gets away with a little bit of a pick play set by Green, but I think that actually slowed him down just enough to where that almost could have been a interception there. Diggs, it'd be a timely time to get an interception if you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, this Arizona Cardinal team has been good on third down, 6 of 14 today. Quick pass here, and they won't convert this one. Wesley is dropped by Joseph about 3 or 4 yards short of the first down marker. So Prater will come out of here, and where they've got it marked, about a 38-yard field goal attempt by Prater coming up, somewhere in that range. Nailed one earlier, I believe, what was it, 52, 53. And you lead to hold it here for Prater.
Obviously a huge field goal, but big for the Cowboys to at least try and get them at that 25 number and still kind of have that goal in mind. Cowboys are going to need 2 scores now.
Yep, 38-yard field goal is easy for Prater. Makes it look so easy, 25-14. Back up by 11. It is a 2-possession game for the Cowboys. So a turnover leads to a field goal for the Cardinals. We'll step aside. We'll be back in a moment. All right, we'll go back at it here. Rob Hipp, Carl Schoening back in the house. Says, sounds like Tron or something in the background there, Carl. I don't know what that is.
I was vibing out to it, though. Like, you're the one picking the music, actually. And, all copyrights paid royalty free on our end. So maybe that was it. I was thinking about it. The fact that we're playing this so soft on your personal, you might not have a real claim to our copyright music. That might be it.
Yeah. I didn't see anything. Yeah, I don't know.
No worries, though. But, back here, it's obviously a big offensive possession for the Cowboys, as this is now the true must-score situation. I've been talking about you feels like it, but now this really is. And we'll see if they even give him a chance to return the kickoff. But I just imagine that it's going to be very conservative football the rest of the way here for the Cardinals, and they'll break that 3-game losing streak if they can let this score hold.
Kick on its way. This one in the end zone. Cowboys will have to take it at the 25. Again, trailing 25-14, 8:32 to go in the final frame. If you're out there listening, we'd love to hear from you. Send your comments in. I know a lot of them have quieted down just because of the Facebook streams, but there are still quite a few folks joining us on YouTube as well as those Facebook streams, so send them in. We'd love to hear from you tonight.
It's been fun, though. I appreciate you putting this together, Rob. It's a good test, too. I think that we've had our question answered.
25-14, Cowboys with it here. Prescott Shotgun snap. Finds Cedric Wilson on the left side, and he's tackled for no gain. Peterson got on that one with the tackle.
Yeah, just a check down to Wilson. Nothing through a first couple progressions. Then he was right there where the defense kind of backed off just a little bit, that they were able to catch up to him at the line of scrimmage.
I'm getting my popcorn ready early here, Carl.
I could have some popcorn. We didn't get many snacks at halftime. Big thank you to Bianca for bringing me nuts earlier, though. Trying to be a little healthier, Rob, here in the new year. Plenty of water and got a quick workout in right before. So, the whole New Year's resolution.
I've lost 4 pounds. Started a little psychological diet right after Christmas that I've been following.
Cool.
And have lost 4 pounds from it, man. It's just really watching your calories. You can still kind of eat what you want, but you have to moderate certain things.
I'm doing sober January because I don't want to put time or money or energy towards alcohol. So we'll see what happens to start off the year that way. Man.
Prescott, boy, he is just throwing the ball everywhere.
They call him down this time?
Luckily he's down, yeah. The ball popped out again.
I mentioned it earlier. They really were saving Dak a lot this year, and you wonder if that's really a switch that you can just flip. Maybe Prescott really is sort of sometimes he forgets just some basic fundamentals. He's very loose with the ball and already has 1 turnover while trying to run. This time just barely misses it on what they need to pick up a 4th and 1 here.
Yeah, it's 4th and 1. Backed up, a lot of time coming down here. They've got to hurry. Here it is, 4th and 1. And it's caught. First down to Wilson. Good play. Well-designed play to Wilson to the left side.
Yeah, that's plenty of opportunity there for Cedric Wilson to make a catch, but it was low. And while he didn't really have any defensive pressure, he certainly had the pressure at 4th and 1. Looks like it was designed to him the whole way. Nice catch. Nice way to turn and get a couple more after as well.
A little flea flicker back to Wilson. Wilson, wide open Pollard, 40, 30 on the far side. How about that for a little flea flicker?
Yeah, that's not something you see too often, where it's nice double pass out from one side to the other, and this time it's a nice catch there to send it over the right side. And, the ability to make that throw, not every receiver can make that throw. Good for Cedric Wilson, contributing in more ways than just catching.
Under 6 to go. Pass over left side. This one caught near the 10-yard line. CeeDee Lamb.
Man, good catch for CD, because we were talking about how he hasn't been involved, but when they do call his number, he's delivering. And again, they're executing right here. It's a matter of discipline. Can the Cowboys not turn the ball over, which they've only committed 1 on, but it was untimely, or commit penalties, which they've committed a ton of today?
Prescott calling the plays to his guys. 5 wide. Stepping back, looking over center. Caught. 4-yard line to Wilson. Wilson has been the man on this drive.
Man, he might get game ball if he can finish off this performance with a couple more plays, but he's certainly been one of the unsung heroes today for the Cowboys. Him and Schultz have really been reliable receiving options for Dak.
Under 5 to go. 2nd and 2. They can get a first down at the 2-yard line. Ball currently on the 4. Prescott fake the handoff to Zeke. Looking to run. Prescott throws. Caught. Touchdown. Over to Cooper. Cowboys on the board again.
Yeah, and Amari Cooper finally gets on the scoreboard, and what was a pretty bleak first half, only putting up 7. Now the Cowboys looking to make it 14. In the second half, I should say.
I just want to be able to run that Cowboys firework graphic, Carl. That's really the only reason I wanted to do this. And,
did you
and to
pull
see
it
and to
off?
talk to you.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
I just wanted to be able to talk to you and show that once in a while. That's really the whole reason.
Right.
2-point attempt coming up for the boys. Prescott, right side throw, 2-point good. And guess who it was? Cedric Wilson. 25-22, 4:42 to go.
Yeah, and it comes down to the defense to make a quick stop and give the offense one more opportunity to maybe force overtime with a field goal or end it with a touchdown. And pressure that we were talking about between offense and defense. Defense has lived up to it so far, but Cedric Wilson, man, what a drive by him. The double pass, the catch for the 2-point conversion. He also made a nice reception that was kind of a low catch on 4th down on that drive. Now, really, Cedric Wilson was the backbone of that drive, and Cooper finished it off with the touchdown.
Great drive. Wilson was all over the place on that drive. From a receiver to a quarterback. And the Cowboys within striking distance. Going to be up to the defense now to get a hold. They can settle for a field goal if the Cowboys offense come down and score a touchdown. Of course, they don't want to give up any points, but we'll see what they can do. 25-22, 4:42 to go here in the 4th. Cowboys trailing by 3. I keep going back to that stat that we talked about earlier. The Cardinals 9-0 this season when they've led at the half. They're trying to make it 10-0 this season. They've lost 3 in a row. Cowboys have been on a little bit of a streak. Both of these teams heading into the postseason.
Yeah, and this is really where the Cardinals are maybe thinking, oh, no, not again. They can't lose 4 games in a row before going in the playoffs. But here at this situation, they need to just get maybe one more touchdown drive and then a good defensive series if Dallas maybe has another opportunity mathematically in the final part of this game. But, field goal would at least make sure that Dallas can't send it in overtime with a field goal.
Next week is the final regular season games in the NFL, and then we go to postseason. Better bet Cardinals here are going to run as much time as they can once the first play is completed. Of course, stopped right now, 4:42 to go. Doesn't do any good running down the play clock, though, whenever your game clock is where it's at. Murray, fake the handoff. Over center. This one incomplete. Just out of the fingertip reach of Kirk. Boy, this crowd, I can hear them on the TV call. I know you can't hear it on this stream because we're not going to play that, but the crowd is just absolutely going nuts right now at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, they sense that their team kind of needs them. This is a tough task for Dallas to try and come back from, 22-7? And really, this is a big defensive stand, and if they can force a 3 and out, that would make it even better.
Murray in the gun. We'll keep it here. He's got room. First down, 40. Slides down. That'll keep the clock going. Heads up play by Murray, not going out of bounds. He took a risk on his body, but he does keep the clock going. He sacrificed himself to keep that clock going.
Yeah, and Murray, he finds his opportunities to run. Sometimes they do kind of make it a part of the game plan, but in that particular case, he just kind of saw an opening and took it. And hey, that's a part of the momentum that they need here if they're going to get the touchdown here to kind of put this game away.
Under 4 to go, 25-22, 1st and 10. Arizona on their own 40, running clock down. Cowboys showing blitz up front. They're able to ping pong and drop down Edmonds after a short gain of 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. By the way, Edmonds back in there. We saw a lot of Eno Benjamin, but they have brought Edmonds back in.
Yeah, I think that was partly because the Cowboys were doing such a good job in the backfield against Edmonds that maybe they've been working Edmonds either a little bit of a rest or kind of out in the slot situation. But we'll see what happens here the final 4 minutes of the game, how Edmonds is involved in the offense.
Down to 3:11 now. Murray taking the snap, throws over, left side, caught, first down. And critical again, converting first downs. They'll say that the receiver was in bounds, and that will run the clock under 3 minutes. 2-minute warning is threatening here in just a few moments.
Yeah, Ertz this time does get that first down catch I was talking about. He ran the sticks route pretty much and made that catch, and it's a big one to keep this drive going for the Cardinals.
Murray having an excellent day. 26 of 38, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. 3:01 to go. Cowboys did burn a timeout. Prescott, besides losing the fumble, he's had a great game. 24 of 38, 226 through the air, and 3 touchdowns. Again, you talked about that stat earlier. Cowboys trailed 22-7 in the fourth quarter. Only trailing by 3, but time not their friend right now. 3:01 to go. Murray, 1st and 10. Cowboys, everybody up front. Pitch back on the option to the right side. And close to a first down, but he goes out of bounds is Edmonds on that right side. Inside Cowboys territory, inside the 40.
Yeah, Edmonds, another kind of option this time, and I think that's sort of their way of freeing him up is by making Murray the primary weapon, and they have to respect Murray, and Edmonds on the option picks up a few more yards and gets the first down.
He does go out of bounds. 2:49 to go. Cowboys, I guess he didn't go out. Cowboys took their final timeout, 25-22. Trailing by 3.
And that's a tough timeout to have to take because I think that they kind of want to make an opportunity to get the ball back with maybe the 2-minute warning as a timeout. But it's going to need a few things to go their way. I imagine the Cardinals will probably, this series of downs, get to the 2-minute warning if they don't get an explosive play or two.
Murray in the gun. Back to his right. Cowboys defense getting a little thrown off. Down to 0. He barely got that play off. Murray, another option here to Edmonds, left side. He'll stay in bounds. Ball pops out. Oh, man, the official said he was down. The ball popped out. Cowboys wanted it. They're not going to get it.
We'll see if there's maybe a challenge here from Mike McCarthy. I don't know if he can challenge that off the top of my head, but, man, that would be a turnover that Dallas could really use right now to sort of secure things. That was also a delay of game that wasn't called. I was praising the officials earlier with doing well officiating, but that's a tough play for the Cowboys to take. And on the replay, that's really close to see if Edmonds got the fumble.
They will have to get a play off as there's about a 2-second differential from the play clock and the game clock. Murray hands off here. No, he keeps it on the left side. He's got the angle, got the cut, slides, first down. That'll run the clock. And that should do it, Carl.
2-minute warning.
Cowboys have no timeouts, and that should be the game.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Minute 58. I'm not too great at clock management math, but yeah, I imagine after this commercial break, that'll be a victory formation for Dallas.
All right, those of you that are still joining us, I'm going to take a quick nap. We'll be right back. Just kidding, Carl. We're back. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. All right, we're back at it. Carl and I are just having some fun here in the final moments. I want to thank everybody who stayed with us today, joining us, listening in as we were testing a live stream service, different products that we're using. And we thought, what a better way to do it here while the Cowboys are playing a game.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see the one you're going to do for the FCS National Championship because, I think that that's something that would be really kind of cool to watch. And you were right. I was bad at math. That basically ensures that Dallas is going to have the clock run out on here. I didn't know if maybe the Cardinals need to pick up one more first down, but yeah, the victory formation taken, and Arizona snaps the 3-game losing streak. So good for them. They needed this win more than Dallas, but now, this is going to be a interesting week 18 to see what seeding is going to happen, because I imagine maybe that Green Bay is going to win against the Vikings today because Kirk Cousins entered health and safety protocols. So he's on that COVID injured list and not going to play tonight, leaving, blanking on his name, but the Vikings with a backup. And if Aaron Rodgers picks up one more win, he could take off 2 weeks in a row should he so choose. And I imagine they probably would, considering he's Aaron Rodgers and you don't want to lose him to a meaningless game. And then you got the bye week.
So snap a 4-game win streak by the Cowboys. So they haven't lost since the overtime matchup versus the Raiders back at Thanksgiving in that 36-33 drop in overtime. Cowboys open up the regular season a loss to Tampa Bay. They'll move to 11-5, while the Cardinals will improve to 11-5. That'll do it. One final knee, and that is it. Cowboys drop this one 25-22 on a tough, another penalty-ridden game. And if you go back to Dak Prescott, that one fumble was really so costly because it led to a score. Other than that, he had a pretty solid game, Carl. Been a fun one. Appreciate you joining me and appreciate everybody out there joining us.
It was a lot of fun, Rob. I'll give you a call a little later, but I appreciate you setting this up and answering a few of our questions. And, this is something that I'm glad we did because now we have a big test over the course of what a sports broadcast is. So, as we move forward, we'll keep an eye out for what SHN is doing in the broadcast world, and hopefully we can help bring these kind of things to the rest of the sports broadcasting community. So appreciate you, Rob, and we'll see you next time.
Appreciate Nathan as well as I end every broadcast, reminding you this evening we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, friends. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there tonight needs you. Good night, and God bless.